Seems like every day I look up, it's Thursday again, and I'm stuck hanging out with you guys again.
Poor bastard.
The feeling is mutual.
A minute 13.
It's just like every day is a
Good job,
Thursday.
Foster.
Is there ever any days in between but Thursdays? Every day is a Thursday.
Thursday, or you're working towards a Thursday, right?
Yeah, I'm actually not working because I'm like dreading doing the show because I'm so sick and tired of talking about this shit ass team. And then all of a sudden it's Thursday again, and I'm stuck talking about this shit ass team once again. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing? Just let you guys in chat know we have a couple of special guests coming on tonight. Squeegee from chat is going to join us, and Chips Ahoy boy is going to join us a little bit later. He has a rant he wants to go on. You know, this is the season for rants. I've gone on plenty of them myself. I probably will again tonight. So yeah, that's what. Then we're going to be talking about the head coaches tonight, the head coaching candidates, and the debacle that this team is and how they're running it and all that shit. So we'll get into that in a minute. In the meantime, great to see you guys again. How are you doing, Foster? How are you doing, Carl?
Hanging in there, brother. Had a rough week. Got through it. Here we are. Sorry about missing you guys Tuesday. A little under the weather there. There's a flu bug going around, man. But here we are. Thursday again, Carl.
I'm over my sickness. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much over mine. I wake up every morning feeling like shit, but at the end of the day, I feel better. So,
what, no super chats?
We haven't even gotten to saying what no super chats yet. We already got a $5
no super chats.
There we go.
$5.
Chad Speaker beat us to the punch, dude. He was on it like that. He knows the deal. He just didn't want to hear the what you played again. He's trying to avoid it.
Yeah, he's trying to avoid it. See, you want to avoid it? So listen, I'm not begging anybody for money.
Sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to roll with it.
No, it's all good. I'm not begging anybody for money, but it's. I'm going to tell you what, it really helps. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Here's your super chat. Fuck George.
Well, Foster, if we would have gotten away with that little blurb you had now it's totally gone. Only took 4 minutes.
340.
Congratulations, Dan.
Hey, I've been noticing no issues with it, so it's all good.
Yeah, we roll with it.
Oh,
don't feel bad, Heidi. Say hi to the chat. Plankster's here, Aunt Moss, Heidi.
Yeah, let's get to the chat. What's up, guys? You guys are amazing. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Peter, of course.
Cliff Victoria.
Jeremy.
Yeah, Chad Speaker's everywhere. How's it going, Chad?
Yeah, Chad's been everywhere lately.
I got to set you up like PJ does, Shorty. I see a certain Eduardo in the chat.
Eduardo Isaac Rodriguez M. Thank you for joining us tonight.
That's why we tune in.
Heidi,
Clipster.
Heidi, how do you not have a last name like Rodriguez or how is it Zimmerman? Living out there in Acapulco.
There's ways.
There's ways, yeah. White guy infiltration into Mexico.
I got someone in the
Shorty,
family.
you have
their
to
last
keep our
name is a
secrets.
Hernandez.
Oh yeah.
They're almost not Hispanic at all. They just have the Hernandez name. Serious.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I guess we should. This is like the chit chat section of the show, right? We should probably wait to talk Bears before we bring our guests on, and we don't want to blow our load before we bring our guests on, right? I would imagine
5 minutes, 15 seconds.
5 minutes. That's about good.
No. I'm just documenting for later. Maybe we'll hear that later on tonight. Maybe next week. We'll see.
Yeah.
And here's I got to answer your question because you answered it, Dan. Well, Heidi answered it. Heidi Zimmerman says my second last name is Melgarajo. So there you have it, Dan.
Melgarajo.
I would
Melgarajo.
I don't know if I'm saying
that R's not rolling really well. I think you need to take
Melgarajo. Yeah.
Take another drink, Dan.
Melgarajo. I am. Tonight I'm drinking wine because I figured this is my night of the week to drink because I need the liquid courage to talk about the Bears. That's how I feel.
You need to do that. But when you said the last name, Melgarho, it sounded like you said you're a whore. But never mind.
Melgrajo.
Mia Horco.
Is that correct?
Not coming out right.
Melgarajo, is that correct? Melgarajo.
Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller. Anyone?
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've got Squeegee hanging out in the background. Squeegee has got some new digs. Squeegee was on the show many moons ago. I think like the end of season 1 or the beginning of season 2 of BCP,
or somewhere in between.
And it's great to see him and have him back on the show. Squeegee, welcome in to BCP. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
Squeegee.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Glad to see everybody in the chat here. What I can see with my new eyeballs here. I was just telling the fellas I got some new toys today I've been playing with. And ready to talk some bears, have some fun.
So here's my problem, guys. Is they could have brought Mike Vrabel in for an interview because he's not currently employed, and they chose to do it via Skype or whatever, Zoom.
Do you really have a huge issue with that?
I do, because it says to me that they're not that serious about him.
Agreed.
The way that I would disagree with that is that there's new rules, and I don't want to kind of explain them because I don't fully understand them. But the moral of the story is that the new rules are tailored to the playoff teams. So if you really are interested in a Ben Johnson, an Aaron Glenn, a Brian Flores, those guys, you can't actually hire them until much later. So the vibe that's going around is, okay, let's cast a wider net. I saw someone in the comment section had made a comment about how all these different interviews, it's really not that good, yada, yada, yada. Here's Jeremy's comment. I don't agree with it because, A, it's kind of just the first wave. You get all these guys interested, you cast your net as far as, requesting the interview, and as soon as you have them, you get them lined up. And then you just do the hour interview to get kind of your feeler. Instead of asking these guys to take half their day to fly out, sit down with you for 3-4 hours in person, and then never hear from them again, get your hour out of the way and really determine your shortlist at that point. This is not, 15 interviews that are people that you're absolutely dead set on hiring, David Shaws of the world, the Iowa State head coach. That's just not the case. I think that they're doing a good job of doing their due diligence, because at the end of the day, look at a guy like Kevin O'Connell. He was not a shoo-in anywhere. He's a guy, maybe if I don't think the Bears even interviewed him. So you have to gauge the interest of the candidate and really see what you've got before you come up with a short list. And this by no means, this 15 candidate list, this is not a short list.
No, it's not. Squeegee, how you feeling?
I think a lot of it's for sure.
Oh, I'm good. I was just kind of dropping this a little bit so I could see a little bit better. Like I said, some of the stuff's new to me, so I'm like looking.
How do you feel about the fact that they are just doing all Zoom interviews right now?
That kind of tells me that they have a plan. Probably several plans in play. To me, I think it should start with McCaskey. He should have, an idea of what kind of coach he wants. He should pass that on to polls. Polls should make the list, and then Warren and polls should get together, and then they should kind of help pick. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, McCaskey should be responsible. He's at the top, so
he should be responsible for the money. That's it.
Poles
Yeah.
should have his own list and go through the guys that he wants.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this squeege
Mhm.
is just a smoke screen. Mike Vrabel's going to end up in New England or New York. Watch.
Right. I agree with that. I think Vrabel would be a good safe choice, but
Absolutely.
I think that he'll go to New England. And then a lot of people want Carroll. I think that Carroll had the whole Walburn situation. Also, there were rumors about even back when like they had the Legion of Doom and all of that. He didn't really develop Wilson. I think Wilson kind of developed in spite of Pete Carroll instead of with him. So I don't really think that's too safe of a bet. I mean, if I had my pick, it'd be the Ben Johnson with the reason why they have this huge list, I think, is because they're probably thinking Ben Johnson, but they're also trying to get some people with them, and it would be really smart if they got one of them head coaches to be a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator, so they could still help him with the stuff that he doesn't know.
Squeegee, I wanted to just back up just a little bit to one of the comments you made about Vrabel. You referred to him as the safe choice.
Yeah.
What makes you feel that he's a safe choice and not the best choice?
Well, I think he's predictable. Okay, meaning that he's going to bring a defensive side of the ball, and it's going to be kind of the same wash, rinse, and repeat. And I think the other guy, Johnson, will bring in more of a fresh idea, and I think that would be the benefit, a big benefit to the team.
If you're saying that you feel that Ben Johnson has a higher ceiling than Mike Vrabel, I think I fully agree with you there. But I don't want. I don't feel that Mike Vrabel is a safe choice, like a McCaskey bad choice. That would almost be like a David Shaw. That would be a safe choice. Give him a little bit of money, stability. I think that Vrabel's track records took the Titans from, I don't even really know what they were. But after the first year and the second year, he took that team to the AFC Championship game, and I'm pretty sure that was maybe against the Chiefs.
This is a perfect time for the exercise that I wanted to perform tonight on this show. So here is a list of all the coaching candidates.
Wait,
and the exercise,
30.
yeah.
I just got a text. I got an interview for the coach on Monday.
Oh, fucking fantastic! I'm writing
maybe
that
I'll be
down.
the Bears coach.
Okay.
I'm going off of Greg because
You don't have time.
Did everybody get an invite to be the head coach of the Bears? Because that's what it feels like to me.
I didn't have time to add you to this list then, but here is the current list. And so the exercise here is at the end, I want you all to pick the next coach out of a lineup. And the lineup is going to be at the end, okay? And I think that if we all think back on every coaching hire, you could almost just pick the coach out of a lineup based on the McCaskies. And that is going to start with this little slideshow, and we'll talk about it. We can talk about it as it goes along. So let's just pause it here. Is Drew Petzing a McCaskey-looking guy? Because it's all about who's the most McCaskey-looking guy. All right, it's not about. So Mike Vrabel automatically loses out because he is the least McCaskey-looking guy. Okay, yeah, Drew Petzing, that is a McCaskey-looking guy. If I
this is Paul from Bearski Film,
that's
Shorty.
Paul, that's
you must be confused.
Well, he got a call too for the job, right?
Except for this, he clearly had an extra. He had an extra tooth added.
Did Paul dirty?
All right, Mike Vrabel.
Paul be laughing if he was watching. I should text him.
Mike Vrabel, Anthony Weaver. That's a McCaskey-looking guy, if you ask me. That's not. He looks too cool. He's also too old, but he looks too cool. He's not a McCaskey guy. That guy looks like he's not a McCaskey guy. This guy looks too cool. He's not a McCaskey guy. This guy is definitely a McCaskey guy. That is a McCaskey guy out the door. That's a Joe Brady. Joe Brady is the guy. Thomas Brown's like, I don't even want this job. I'm done with this.
I had this job once. No thanks.
That is a McCaskey guy.
That's a McCaskey guy. That's who they're going to hire right there.
That guy's like, fuck you, McCaskey.
That was the head coach of Iowa State, right?
This guy's like, I just need some more cocaine. This guy is definitely a McCaskey guy. That's Triple R. That they wouldn't hire. Arthur Smith. He's kind of almost too cool looking.
Can I play a video clip of the Iowa State head coach, because I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin.
All right, let me wait really quickly. Just I want to show this. So here are all the total of the coaches. So go through them one by one, and just look at find the dorkiest guy, the dorkiest looking guy that got his underwear pulled up his ass in high school when he was a freshman. Find that guy.
So at risk of sounding insensitive, the face underneath Thomas Brown, I could see Kevin Warren saying, you know what? I really want that guy to go to the gym with me.
If he started talking, about the Lord, I'm sure Kevin Warren would definitely want him. It could very well be Matt Campbell. But Todd Monken's right up there. He's right up there.
Kafka.
Matt Kafka's pretty...
That was what I was just leaning towards and going, when you said all this stuff, but he looks like a bigger guy, but I'm like, everything that you said, I went right to Matt Kafka.
Well, Foster, I saw a certain someone in the chat.
Yeah, I'll have some egg rolls, some pin ping dong, and
a glass of Zach Charbonnet.
Here, let me show this video clip of the Iowa State head coach. Dog? This is the definition of a McCaskey, guys. I'm sorry to burst your bubble.
How do you, as a coach, view goals? Because at the beginning of the season, your players, the goal was Big 12 championship.
Oh, not me. That was never my goal. Okay. My goal has always been one thing, and that's to become the best version of ourselves we can become. So you've never heard me say that word once. You've only heard me talk about becoming the best version of yourself you can be. And really my challenge for this year's team was to become the greatest together team in the history of Iowa State football. And so far, all of our goals are still intact from a Coach Campbell standpoint. Now, could our players have other goals and aspirations? Sure. Do I want them to have great goals and aspirations? Sure. But that's not Coach Campbell's goal. That was never said by me.
There you go.
Real quick, Squeegee, your mic is resting on your, and so it's kind of bouncing around, and we're getting from your mic on your jersey.
All right.
Can you kind of hold your mic off of your?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
How's that?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Because every time you're talking, it was bouncing off of it, so it was kind of feedbacking on it. Yeah, I think it all comes down to the biggest dork, guys. That's why they super chats. That's why they didn't plank BCP member for 1 month help support. Oh man, wow! It's already been a month since I did the memberships. 31, only 19. Let's get those. Dude, you're awesome, Plank. Thank you so much. It's awesome to have you in chat with us because you normally can't join us. So thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Agreed. Thank you, sir.
We've got some newbies in here too. Ray Donovan. Let's see who else was in here. Mr. Perry. Let's see. Anthony. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We're here to have some fun, as always on Thursday nights. So.
Did we address this comment from Greg B? That's fantastic.
Fudge it.
They've already dug up mugs, right? Screw it.
There is one coaching candidate that I forgot that's not on the list, though, guys.
All right. Let's hear it.
McCown.
Josh McCown.
Let's hear it, Dan.
If you haven't heard my rant on this, I'll summarize it. 18 years in the league playing quarterback, 12 different teams, 12 different offenses or more that he's learned over that course. He's a man's man. He's a leader. I'm so sick of hearing this leader of men thing tossed around. It's like we're so overcompensating for a lack of, coaching that we're like, now we're going into the we need a leader of men. That's come on. What we need
of men? The leader of one? What?
Not a leader of men, but a leader of men.
Like a whole
And
leader?
What's the difference? No, I'm just kidding.
Look, you got dork after dork after dork after dork. The only cool looking guy on here is Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll in his elder age. Aaron Glenn's kind of cool, but he's too cool for this job. But this guy.
Yeah, but some people could look at it and say, "Well, I don't want this guy, dude. He can't hold a job."
He just got started into coaching, guys. He was last playing with Sam Darnold with the Jets. So he went on to coach his high school football, and so that he's already qualified because he's been a head coach. He knows how to lead a team. He's been in so many offenses, and he has been a part of so many locker rooms, and he's been an outspoken voice in those locker rooms. He's one of the pieces of glue that helped bind the Trestman era that fell apart together.
I'm not sure the validity of that exact comment right there, Shorty, because when I was compiling some clips for those beautiful YouTube shorts, I discovered that Josh McCown that year had only went 3-4. Technically 3-3, and then he got chalked with the loss against Philadelphia where they got blown out. But he only went 3-3.
Yeah, but he was hot when they took him out.
Right, but that doesn't mean that he was the glue.
He was the glue in the locker room. He was the glue in the locker room.
Josh McCown filled in admirably for the most talented offense that the Chicago Bears ever had.
And contributed to it.
Well, he was just driving the car. He didn't build the car.
So
he
no,
wasn't
he's
a component of the car. He just drove it.
He's also been a Bear. He knows the front office. I'm just saying. You look at this lineup.
Ford would have never beat Porsche back in the '60s. Yeah, they would have never beat Ferrari back in the '60s if they didn't have the right driver. Just saying.
Now I know that was just yesterday for you, Foster, but I wasn't born. I'm not too educated on those comments. I mean, when we're just looking at these faces.
Ferrari?
Go ahead.
You didn't see Ford versus Ferrari?
I think I saw some sort of movie clip on it. I'm going to sound really bad, but.
Okay. Just curious.
I'm sure I've seen something. I just don't remember it.
Like I said, I'm flip-flopping. I'm fighting both sides on this. Shorty, he sucks.
And I appreciate that. If you want to throw the picture up one more time for the viewers, I mean, there's just a face on there that just clearly stands out to me far and ahead above the rest, and that's Vrabel.
That's Vrabel. He's the coolest guy. He's the coolest guy in the picture.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean,
well, yeah, but no.
If anything, I would love to see.
If you add him to the picture, he's the coolest guy.
If you add Josh McCown to this picture,
if you add Josh McCown to this lineup, he's the coolest guy. He's competing with Ben Johnson.
Well, then there's, according to your other theory,
it's definitely not.
It's got to be Mike. It's got to be Kafka.
It's going to be the guy in the bottom in the middle, Mike. It's going to be. Oh yeah, Mike Kafka. It'll be Matt Campbell on the bottom there.
That's what I said. I literally said this, guys. I don't know if you remember, Squeak, when we were walking in here. I said all those pictures. I said it's going to be the guy from Iowa State because they'll have control and the money will be low, and it'll be just a continuation of what's been going on for 2 decades, 3.
But you just heard the man talk. I mean, he sounds like George McCaskey himself, Oh, I didn't say that. I'm just trying as hard as I can. That's what matters. That's what you want to be your leader of men?
That's very Hallisy. Or McCaskey-ish.
McCaskey-ish.
To think back, man, because the Bulls did this same thing where they hired, what's his name, from Iowa State, the head coach. I will say this, though, Iowa State's continuously puts out decent players and has good product on the field weekly. Go back and look at their games.
I saw someone make a comment too about maybe if the Bears asked David Montgomery what he felt about his old college coach, and that he might have high praise. But I'm going to take a pass on the Iowa State coach, please.
And Vernon Roseman said Ford versus Ferrari is a very good movie.
It is.
I'm positive at this point that I've seen it, but I just don't remember the exact storyline.
No biggie. It was the whole thing was the guy's driving the car and he's pushing it, and they're like, "Oh no, he can't do that." And then Matt Damon says, "Open her up, man. Where they're in danger." They actually in the year prior to winning, they actually blew up the motor, so they screwed themselves. But they had to have the right guy behind the wheel of the car to overtake Ferrari, because Ferrari had been dominating since it began. Racing began.
Yeah, and we definitely need the right guy this year.
And that's where we're at. That's where we're at as a franchise, man.
That translates into we cannot go looking for the next McCaskey dork on this list. It cannot happen. You can look at this list with your own eyeballs and go, nope, 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 nope. There's like 2 guys on this list. Cliff Kingsbury, maybe. Other than that, that's it. It's Ben Johnson or Mike Vrabel. Yeah. And the fact that they didn't bring Mike Vrabel in for an interview and show that this is the guy that they want, but they're just the fact that they have that many people on that list. That many people shows you that they are so fucking incompetent that they have no fucking clue what they're doing. This should be a list of 5 people. It should fit the Rooney Rule, and it should be 2 guys that were like Flores fits the Rooney Rule, and it's a guy that you could seriously consider. Aaron Glenn fits the Rooney Rule, a guy you can seriously consider. Who else is on there?
I got a question for everybody.
Maybe the dude from the
Dolphins. I got a question for you, Squeege.
Why everyone else?
Well, all you guys, but I'll start with you, Squeege, and then you could say what you were going to say. Okay. So the Jets had Mike Vrabel in Monday after their game Sunday. I don't know if they had him in, but they interviewed him for the job, and that's who they were very high on. Didn't he also interview with the Patriots? Immediately. I don't know if he went to New York and he went to Massachusetts. I don't know if those were Skype interviews or not.
I'm sorry, Foster. Were you asking about Vrabel?
Yeah. Here's my question. I said, if the Bears are this serious about Vrabel, the Jets had him in Monday after their season ended. New England had him in between, and we're last doing a Skype interview. So how serious are they about Mike Vrabel? That's my question.
Exactly.
How serious do you think they are about Mike Vrabel? And I was asking Squeegee first because he had a comment to it.
Go for it, Squeegee.
Well, and then you can answer, Carl. And then you
I think that because of the system that Vrabel knows, we were talking about that Perkins, whatever. Remember the Earhart Perkins system that used to be run back in the 70s? And that was the kind of ball that Vrabel was taught back then, you know. And so he's going to be familiar with that. And so that's one way that the Bears would be interested in him. But that's predictable. So everybody else, if they hire Vrabel, everybody else in the division is going to know what kind of offense they're going to run. You see, that's what I was talking about of being predictable. So I think that Vrabel would be a better fit either in New York or in New England. I think New England will probably snatch him, and then we'll be talking about something else. That's where I'm at with him.
So let me just state the obvious. Mike Vrabel is essentially a Hall of Fame linebacker for the New England Patriots.
Right.
The Patriots are in the same division as the Jets. So if I'm Mike Vrabel and I saw at the moment that Gerard Mayo had not been fired and I felt like I had an opportunity to go to the franchise where I became a Hall of Fame player, I'm going to tell the Jets, you know what? I love your opportunity. Please bring me in person, all in the hopes of blowing smoke of Robert Kraft's you-know-what. So that interview that he essentially requested with the Jets, in my opinion, or pretended to be interested in, that prompted the Patriots to fire Gerard Mayo. So Mike Vrabel, all these little things are going to add up, in my opinion. The more that I've been talking about this is to show that Mike Vrabel is the most sought after candidate in the cycle, and he has a lot of power to say, hey, this is what I want. These are my terms. So I want to share something that are good.
And that's why having a Zoom meeting with them shows that we're like,
No, I just don't agree. I made my point. I mean, it's smart to be able to get these guys, gauge their interest as much as how you are interested in them. So let me share this series of tweets from our good buddy Lester Wiltfong. So he clearly says, all interviews in 2025 being virtual are the norm. If you like a candidate, then you set up the in-person meeting afterwards. The first wave should all be done in the same format. He says, also, if I'm a hot candidate, my time is valuable, which this is the part that I really agree with. I'm looking to fit in as many meetings as possible, so flying out just to turn around and do it to go home a few hours later isn't something I wanted to waste time with until it's time to talk about the contract. And I genuinely agree with all of that. That's why the Bears completed an interview with Mike Petzing, I really don't know Paul's name, at 8 a.m. this morning, Get him on the Zoom call, gauge his interest. If he blows your socks off, if he's the next Kevin O'Connell, you found a diamond in the rough. The way that interview went, they said, thanks, guy, and that's it. Bears will never touch base with him ever again. So I would be happy as a Bears fan that they're at least doing their due diligence. Can you imagine a short list of 5 names? You don't get the names that you actually want, and you pass up on a coach. You never even interview a coach who becomes coach of the year. These things happen all the time, but a wider net, I don't see any issues with it.
Wait, are you talking about this guy?
Okay, so the Jets, I know I'm feeding you information that McCown
because he hasn't been an
interview with the Jets.
Coordinator yet.
No, he got an interview with the Jets, but who hasn't had an interview with the Jets?
But
they're interviewing Louis Riddick to be their general manager. The Jets are unserious. The Jets interviewed their former head coach. I can't remember his name.
Not been an offensive coordinator yet doesn't mean jack shit to me. He's already got the resume.
But he wasn't a world beater quarterback. I just go back to my sample size with Josh McCown for the Bears. That Bears roster didn't even had the best collection of talent
for the Rams.
I think that Redskins staff was an anomaly. I will never argue against or for that. Anyone on that staff was just special. And I think that's all under the tutelage of Mike Shanahan. I can't remember at that point,
but he never called plays.
Doesn't matter. You can't. There's only one position to call plays in the NFL on one team. There's only 32 offensive coordinator positions, and even some of the offensive coordinators don't call plays because the head coach does it, like Deshaun McVay's.
I'm gonna get with you later, man. Boxing gloves on, dude. We have Chips Boy that's been waiting patiently in the background. He has his own venting he wants to do. You ready, buddy?
Blue bag only.
We're probably putting him to sleep.
Give us
a thumbs up when you're ready.
Looking for a thumbs up, Chips Ahoy boy. Is his camera frozen?
I don't know.
No, it's shaking.
On the screen, I can't tell if he hasn't moved or it's frozen or what.
Oh, there it is. All right, we're ready. I'm going to pull myself and throw up Chips Ahoy boy.
All right.
We've got the tips.
What's going on?
We just need some water and milk.
How's it going?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Blue Bagger?
How's everyone doing tonight?
Chips Ahoy eating motherfucker.
We're good. How are you? I had to put this is where I'm at my Bears fandom. I had to put my Netflix. I'm watching the series The Crown. I had to put that on pause because now I'm on the vent because that's where I'm at with my Bears fandom. I'm real close to just being done with this freaking team. They've had 6 weeks to do interviews. When is this organization going to act like $1 billion organization? Never. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? What are these Zoom meetings? 16? They don't know who they want. They don't know who they want. They ain't getting Vrabel. They're not getting Ben Johnson. They're not getting those guys. Start wrapping that around your head. These guys are not coming to the Bears. They don't know what they're doing. And every time, and this starts from the top, every time they're on TV, you hear him, he can't help it. He's going to tell you the Bears are the largest landowners in the NFL. The Bears are the largest landowners in the NFL. The Bears are the largest landowners in the NFL. When are you ever going to hear them talk about getting to the playoffs, which will then punch their ticket to possibly getting to the Super Bowl? When is that going to happen? Bear fans, y'all need to start putting this team to a higher standard. Stop freaking, oh my God, this guy looks cool, that, whatever. No! This...
So wait, you're saying you're out on that then?
Oh, dude, oh my God. They might as well just get freaking Barney the freaking dinosaur at this point. My goodness, this is bad. This is bad. Zoom interviews. You have enough money to fly to these guys you want. You want Vrabel? You want Johnson? Fly to them. Tell them. Signing coaches and coaching staffs doesn't affect the salary cap. My goodness, blank checks. What's it going to take? What's it going to take? You fucked up on Harbaugh. You wouldn't even call the fucking guy. And that's Kevin. That's on Kevin Warren. That goes back to their Big Ten days. He didn't want the alpha dog. They haven't had an alpha dog since Ditka. Once they got rid of Ditka, that was it. That was it. And then once Hallis died, all his football knowledge went to George Hallis Jr. George Hallis Jr. is in the grave. All that football knowledge is gone. 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 This is bad. Like I said, I'm almost out the door. I'm almost out the fucking door with this team.
Have you heard my rant?
And they prayed. They brought in a priest to pray for a new fucking stadium. They committed blasphemy. That guy should have been walked out the door immediately. How dare you pray for a new stadium?
He should have been thrown out on his ear a long time ago.
I put this all out on a 50-watt blowtorch. Thank God for Dan's podcast so I can fucking swear. I'm pissed. We were lied to. This team ran like the fucking Democratic organization. They ran this organization into the goddamn ground.
You know about the whole Muggs House thing, right?
Did.
Oh my God. AM 780 played a freaking interview with George Hallis. He was heartbroken when Muggs freaking died. All that knowledge went to Muggs. It's all in the grave.
It all went to the McCaskies. None of it went to the McCaskies. All the money went to the McCaskies, and they fucked it all up.
Thank you. You've been close, Dan. You've been close, man. I'm running with this motherfucker. Kevin Warren is a con artist, man. They hired a fucking politician. He only cares about the land.
You guys
How many
are
NFL
still
owners are land flippers? How many are there? There's none. We only have one, and it's on the fucking Bears.
Chips, while you're in the middle of this, how do you feel about people who think that Kevin Warren is simply using his position with the Bears in attempt to be the next commissioner of the NFL?
Oh, dude, I would not want him as commissioner. Oh, my God. Oh, my.
But, like, to the breath that he's a con artist, like, that's kind of what it feels like he's trying to do, is just use the Bears to get what he wants.
Oh, yeah, he totally
There's
did.
no fucking shovel in the ground.
He shined. He gave them all the history. They're a franchise, you know, this, that, and that. He kissed her. He shined their fucking nutsack and got in.
I love it.
Yeah, you don't see no Bear shit. Where's the Bear stuff? Man. I put all my hats away. I ain't rocking my hats till the golf season. Nah, man. I got caught up on I'm watching some cool ass shit, man, while the Bears have sucked ass. And then the first thing I see on the chat, and I'm sick of this. Y'all are so fucking happy that they beat Green Bay. What was their fucking record? Green Bay's in the goddamn fucking playoffs, y'all. Wake the fuck up.
Yeah, not until they get their ass kicked in Fentanyl Philly, but I agree with you.
Green Bay. You know what I want? I want to be in the fucking playoffs and trying to get to the Super Bowl. Let's lose to fucking Green Bay and win a Super Bowl. I fucking hate that shit. Fuck, who fucking cares who they beat? Let's win.
David, I'm gonna unplug it. Did you hear me?
All right.
Sorry.
And then he says sorry. That's the perfect end. That's awesome.
His mama came in the room. She's like, that's enough of the swearing, Davy boy.
That's awesome.
Actually, just storm out. There you go. Slam the door.
Give it up
All
for
right.
Chips. Give it up for Chips, guys.
Dan,
Got
I
his
told you
rant
for
in,
years,
man.
man. Our childhood Bears was more fun than our adult Bears.
Dude, we are living off of I am so sick and tired of hearing about the 85 Bears. I am so sick and
I know.
the reason
me too,
why
man.
there are
Me
the
too,
reason
but that was our best time of Bears, man. When
that's
we were
the reason
kids.
why there are so many fans all over the globe is because of the 85 Bears and nothing else.
Squeegee.
Yeah.
Is this last 20 years worse to you than all the suffering and bullshit of the late 60s and the early 70s?
I'm
I'm gonna say about the past 5 years, a lot has changed as far as disunity. You know, there's not the same.
I was a
It's not the same Bears fan as it was. You know, the only thing I would add to what you said is Ted Phillips gets a pass on all this too. You know, I know that Aldo was talking. He did a little bit earlier today, and he was hitting on about 1999, and he stopped right there. What he didn't add with 1999 was the year that Phillips got freaking promoted to like vice president of fucking operations or whatever, and that's what fucking put a monkey wrench into everything. And that fucker, but that dude, they kicked him upstairs, and he's still been hiding like a little fucking worm. And he's fucked up a lot of shit for the years too, you know. So I'd like to hold McCaskey accountable, you know. But like somebody was saying, you know, he wasn't really raised as a football guy. That's the thing is that the difference between, you know, him and Hollis was a quarterback, and he played football, and then he taught football, and he coached football, and then he also knew the football business. And McCaskey doesn't know shit about that, you know. So I don't expect him to know that, but I mean, at least have common fucking sense, you know. Like they tried, like this scam about how they didn't know how to manage the fucking clock, right? I mean, I know when I was a little kid, I watched the fucking Longest Yard with fucking Burt Reynolds. You know, what did they say? Everybody fucking call time out. You know, what's the clock?
Holy
Sorry
cow.
about that. Watch the clock. You know, fucking everybody call time. So, like stupid.
I just remember how miserable and how bad it was.
Yeah,
it was still for some reason it was funner than this has been. And I'm talking like you guys have said it before, but I'm going like in the 70s. 1-13, 3-11, 4-10. I could throw a 7-5 in there, you know, stuff like that. But I mean,
a 13-3. They're back to 4.
No. And that was the other thing too. Is the Lions, this is the first time they've ever won 14 games. Well, nobody ever freaking played more than 12 or 14 games until after 1977. So how could you win 14? Because nobody did it except for the Miami Dolphins. I'm just saying. But this is worse. This just feels worse than those 70s teams because at least you knew George Halas was alive and you thought
he promised us this, you know,
like him wasn't it Muggs that hired George Halas and Muggs brought in Jim Finks, and that started to turn this debacle because we had this debacle from 64 to 83 where we just sucked. It was like the Blackhawks from 61 to 2010. They could never win.
Once Muggs took over, and then he started to right the
brought
ship,
in Finks.
And then he died. Yeah. And then it went to Virginia, who had no idea what she was doing, and that then in turn went to the business side, which was the McCaskies, who their children went to fucking Harvard, you know, Ivy League schools, and they just you would think I don't like to knit, but like if my mother owned one of the biggest hand knitting companies in the entire fucking country, I would have learned how to knit when I was a child, at least. And at least I would be able to know how to knit and what colors would go together. And I could go, yeah, I could at least control the room of the CEO, the people that work for me.
You can have a conversation, hire some people.
But it's kind of like I wanted to bring this up because we're kind of talking about it. Is this moron right here? Just we don't have to listen to much of it. It's just it just whatever it takes to listen to this guy. Just speak is just it's gut wrenching.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
First, I want to thank Matt Eberflus.
Oh God!
It's you had me at thank you for being here.
I want to thank Matt Eberflus for wasting 2 years of the organization's time.
Hold on. One at a time.
I just said I want to thank Matt Eberflus for wasting 2 years of this organization's time.
Yeah.
Hard work and dedication on behalf of the Bears.
Oh God!
And then Warren too, man. If Poles wanted to fire Eberflus after last season, and Warren told him no, or whoever told him no, we got a big fucking problem because we've got a hamstrung GM again, and we're going nowhere fast.
To play devil's advocate, can you? I guess what do you want from George McCaskey? You want him to say nothing about Eberflus, right? But what if he just as asked about him, he said, "Yeah, fuck that guy." You're not going to get a new head coach.
Why was he out there?
No, it's not even that. It's some of this stuff doesn't have to be done out in the press. Maybe I'm wrong, but
you are not wrong.
Chips, did you just ask why was McCaskey out there?
Yes.
It was so funny because they didn't do it live. They recorded it and then they uploaded it after the fact, but they didn't broadcast it live to protect him. I think it's just funny they did it.
At some point,
him and Warren
understand the fan base and the media base that they're dealing with, and just don't truck these idiots out there to look like idiots. The more that they truck them out there, the more they look like idiots. The more that they stay in the background and don't have to fucking stand up and looking like idiots, the better they look. Because you don't have our critical media and fan base judging them at every fucking second, and we can all love and be in love with the idea of the McCaskey Hallis family. It's still being in the ownership of the original family, but I mean, at some point, it's like you cannot. Every single fucking time, every time it comes down to what? The McCaskies! And that's why I go through this list of dildos up here, and I go, which is the least dildo? Who is the least looking dildo of all the dildos? There's 2 fucking cool guys on here. The rest are fucking dildos. This is a cool guy. He's not a dildo. You can just tell cool and you can tell dildo. And the next dildo that they hire is just going to fucking dildo himself around and not know how to handle the fucking fans and the media base. And so I have no confidence whatsoever unless they fucking get rid of this man from making decisions. He needs to count money. Period.
Yes,
Count money.
And then hand it to me.
You go, can we afford to give this guy $10 million a year? Yes or no? Yes. Thank you, sir. Not, we're going to involve, this is fucking Ryan Pohl's job. This is not a fucking committee of 18 different fucking people that need to hire a head coach. This man needs to fucking stay out of it, Mr. Airline Pilot fucking George McCaskey.
Yes.
So, Chips, to answer you directly, he was forced to do the media session as per the NFL's guidelines. So it's on the screen if you guys want to read it. I'm not going to waste my breath.
No,
but
it's okay.
That's why. And he was protected again. He didn't do anything live. He's not good in those situations.
He just says
if you
the
saw
same thing over.
Yeah, you saw the ESPN cut up, right? Like it's really weird. He's got a cookie cutter template. It's really embarrassing.
Just when's it gonna stop? Like when? So like they went back to 2011 and did a mashup till now. It's like every 3 years he's saying the same thing over and over. Like
it's insanity. It's just it's
like someone needs to play it to him. Maybe if he hears it for himself, maybe then he'll be like, oh, Okay.
If he sat and laid in bed on his iPhone and just watched a mashup of every fucking post-season press conference after firing a head coach, how dumb he would feel.
It's almost word for word, same line.
James Christo.
So and so. Bears, we're as frustrated as Bear fans are. I mean, it's oh my God.
Go ahead, Foster.
James Christo, Chip says, George McCaskey, Ryan Poles, this is George McCaskey saying it. Ryan Poles will hire the next head coach as long as he goes to church every Sunday, doesn't swear, and asks for as little money as possible. Thank you, James Christo.
It's so true.
Thank you for joining us, James Christo.
Yes.
We want those two top guys. They're looking at least 15, 16, 17 million to get those guys. Those three top guys. Have the Bears ever paid that much for a coach?
T. Collins is saying, can't y'all wait until they hire a coach to freak out? Bears fans are weird. What if they actually make a good hire? Look, listen. If you're a Bears fan,
not expecting a good hire, man.
If you're not a Bears fan, T. Collins, then I applaud you.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you.
If you are a Bears fan and you heard what we just talked about and you said that, then that means you're not paying attention because they will not make a good hire. They will not make a good hire. They're already fucking this up again with Ryan Poles now being a lame duck general manager. And the next head coach is he's going to get fired with another coach, and we're going to have another general manager that didn't want that coach. It's going to fucking start all over again. And meanwhile, our goddamn number one pick is going to get ruined.
Well, just like this, the last good coaching hire was already a quarter of a century ago. I'm just saying, the last good hire was a quarter of a century. What we got to wait every 25 fucking years for a coach? Is that, and then for the cycle to maybe where we can get, that stupid double doink, man. I looked at my brother and I just went, well, that window closed. And everybody's like, what do you mean that window closed? I'm like, they're not going to get back to where they were. The day of that game in New Orleans, I said it. I'm like, they're not going to get back to here again. This was the window. That was it.
I'm crying.
So now we got to wait another 25 years for that window. I'm just going on what's happened in my lifetime, and that's only the last 100 years. Because Chris Foster was asking me and you, Squeegee. He goes, how were those NFL games in the 40s? And I was going to say they were pretty rough, man, because we either had no helmet or a piece of leather.
I was going to say, wasn't none of that yellow flag. What's that? No blood, no foul.
They didn't even have flags. They just said, you're out. No.
Weren't the 40s like the golden age? Like the 20s and the 40s was like the golden age of the Bears?
39 to 49.
He's barely breathing. Just step on his neck and finish him off.
That's where they really got the name Monsters of the Midway. 39 to 49. They drafted Luckman and they won like 4 fucking championships. And were there every season except I think in 46 because of the war shit. The end of the war shit.
Fucking Hitler. God damn it.
Damn Nazis.
I did not mean to do that. Here we go.
Yeah, it was probably better that you did as soon as he said it.
His instinct hard.
Hitler. Look at now it's Hitler's fault the Bears sucks. We can drag anybody down to this shit. You might as well bring in Mussolini. And who's the guy that murdered everybody in Asia?
I mean, that's why this
therapeutic.
This show, I was just going to say, this show has literally become weekly Bears fan therapy.
Oh, I'm feeling so much better. It started with a
nothing.
50,000-watt blowtorch, and coming on here, I'm feeling great now.
I heard they might even let Chips out of the room now.
Did your mom lock the door behind her when she walked out of the room?
They were locked in the basement for like the last 6 weeks, man.
He was worried about the dog, so he was all like, "What the fuck's going on?"
You're freaking the dogs out.
We're joking around. Hey, Paulie, we were talking about you earlier, dude.
Well, my dog loves when I watch golf. So
wait, where's that picture of Paulie, Carl? Polsky.
I never texted him. I never picked up the phone and texted him. It was terrible. It was terrible, Paulie. We're making fun of your tooth.
There's you, Polsky.
There we go.
Wow.
Except look, Polsky.
Hey, Polsky, did you do your Zoom interview for head coach of the Bears yet?
Look, Polsky, they added another tooth to you. They put a tooth in the middle, Polsky.
I hope you're laughing, Paulie, because we're just fucking around.
He's laughing.
Oh, he's got an LOL up there.
Polsky's our buddy.
Hair Bear, Slick Sophistication, Paulie.
Greg B. James Cristo.
Back in here, or came in here. Slick.
196 watching right now, combined with Twitter and YouTube.
J2K. I meant to say that when he popped in when I first saw him.
The Scrolls. What's up, the Scrolls?
And James Crisco.
If one more fucking person comes in this chat and says start Bajent, I'm gonna have to remind you the season's over. Just putting that out there.
It was pretty tough dating in the 1800s, especially when I was living in England. I'm really I forgot to tell you guys I'm Jack the Ripper too. It all ties into the wall, and
we know
I couldn't get a date in the late 1800s.
So hey, if you
couldn't get a date in England, so I just forced one.
Hey, so when you was over there in England, did you get a tally ho or a tally whacker?
A little bit of both.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. Condoms weren't good. It was sheepskin. It didn't work well.
I'm going to take a leak and let you guys lead the room. You guys don't need me.
You know, pontificating on England, that's the motherland. You know, that's where freaking like the first Newberry came from was like 1686. Thomas Newberry came from the freaking Dover, England. That was my first relative that came here. They freaking later on, you guys should look up the Newberry Library in Chicago. That's another famous name that doesn't get passed around very much, but it's a library. It's a library there where you can look up your heritage. It's everybody's family history from Chicago, from when the city was built. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool. It's like an old library that's there, and so you can basically do what I call a squeeze genealogy. Basically, you can look up the freaking family history in the Newberry Library and my family library. So do your squeeze genealogy at the Newberry Library in Chicago. You have to check it out.
So is this just intel?
Seriously, yeah, breaking news. Mr. McCaskey himself, Mike Kafka, completed an interview with the Chicago Bears. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
James Cristo's got another good statement here, guys. And then I want a J2K up there, too. Fact, Ryan Pace is the best GM of the George McCaskey era. That's pretty much true.
Oh, God, that hurts, though.
Yes.
Oh, it hurts.
Well, it's definitely the most talented team. Have you ever heard these guys talk about each other from that team, though? Like, Khalil Mack almost like he cries when he talks about that team.
I'm agreeing. What I was saying was Ryan Pace. Now he just learned on the job how to be a GM. And if you go back and you look at some of his picks near the end, he has outpicked polls at this point. I mean, he's had a longer term to do it. But go compare the picks, man. Because there's still guys out there playing that he drafted for other teams that are very successful.
The best player on the Chicago Bears is drafted by Pace.
Built this roster from the inside out.
And then I want to go on to J2K said this. And thanks for putting this up, J2K, because we're messing around and we're sick of what's been going on with the Bears, especially the last 3-4 years have just been, ridiculous.
I agree with J2K. Those are all good options.
I'm not so pessimistic as some fans are. I really like 4 of the head coach candidates.
Just be nice. They fly out.
Any one of them, and I'll be happy. Vrabel, Johnson, Flores, and Munkin, all great options. Agreed. I don't see any of them coming here.
Yeah.
I don't see him coming here because of McCaskey, possibly Warren. Now that we're hearing the stuff with Harbaugh,
just this process.
So we're back in the same shit. I just don't see him coming here. We're going to end up with the guy from Iowa State.
Because he's going to be the cheapest and most controllable option out of anybody on this board.
He is the dorkiest looking guy too.
I don't even go that far, man. I'm a freaking dork. You're a dork, Dan. What do you think of that?
I'm not the dorkiest. None of us are the dorkiest looking guy on that list.
I'm getting
And
pretty
maybe
close.
Squeegee.
What's that now?
Not us three.
He's clean shaven. He's got a nice head on. He's clean.
I said none of us.
Oh yeah.
None of us are dorkier looking than any one of the guys on this list, Squeegee. And then I said,
There you go.
I said maybe except for you.
There, is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that, them long flowing locks.
Yeah. Well, no. As soon as you pulled out those cool locks, they were like, "Nope, we're not hiring you, dude."
I had hair once, Chips.
Make me the. Hey, that's. There you go. Hey, George, give me the job.
Well, I said I got my interview.
I'll take it.
No,
I can't fuck. Hey, I can't fuck it up any worse than him. Hell, I could fucking hire the chair I'm fucking sitting on, and I don't think it'd fuck it up any worse than fucking he has.
I apologize for this very cursed image, but just doing what I'm told by Paul.
blow up
Oh,
doll,
no.
blow up doll, Polly.
No, if you don't know what you're looking at, that's a more accurate Paul. We've got him as the Bears head coach, but with an accurate portrayal of his teeth, aka Dan Campbell.
No. You need to have his top teeth with the gap in the middle.
No, I think this is doing a much better job. I think. I mean, just
I disagree.
That speaks for itself.
You're doing Paulie a disservice.
Yeah, I think we just let
He
it
can't
go.
show his bottom teeth. We got some super chats here, guys. What? No super chats? Fuck! It's about time.
I'm telling you, he was so stupid. He was so unwise. He was like an unwise man.
Read them off there, Dan, because you got a couple.
$2 super chat from Chad Speaker saying the stupid cliche process. Say they get rid of it.
They say they get rid of it.
They say they get rid of it. They will never get rid of it. By the way, Chad, Carl and I saw that you super chatted. Who was it?
Don't worry, I'm on it. No, leave it right there. I'm on it.
Okay, all right, we're cool. We're setting you up for later, Chad. Thank you for your super chat. Googly Bear, thank you for your $5 super chat. Ryan Pace should have Trubisky's back instead of kissing Nagy's tush. He should have had Trubisky's back instead of kissing Nagy's tush. I agree.
He should have.
Trubisky wasn't the problem, really. He threw his best pass of his career in the playoffs.
Now we're getting senile.
A little bit.
Trubisky sucked all day long, dude. Sorry. I don't
Thank
care
you
what the numbers
for-
are. I keep saying it again and again. Go back and watch every game. All the fucking shit, the opportunities that he missed. They're just everywhere. Everywhere.
Thank you for your super chats, guys. Appreciate that. You guys are awesome.
And here, because I was talking about Iowa State earlier, Hair Bear said this, and I knew this because all you got to do is go back and look at what Iowa State's done since this guy's been coach.
Yeah, what's up?
The dude from Iowa State is a hell of a coach, though, and turns down NFL offers every year. Thank you, Hair Bear. Demond Dice in the house with Hair Bear and Googly Bear.
I don't want
to. Chad Speaker.
What? No super
and
chats?
Scottish Bear and Hair Bear.
What? No super chats?
Everywhere.
Thanks for
What,
joining
no
us,
super
Chad.
chats?
By the way, Chad, we were spying on you and saw that you donated $2 to the Chat Now super chat, and we just want to warn you of your behavior. Chat Now is a media conglomerate, and the Bears Chat Now is just one guy doing that as his job for a media company. So, if I'm just going to say,
He lives in Dallas, and he's not a Bears fan.
Exactly. I would not donate your money to anything but real super Bears fans who have their own channels and are not media conglomerates, i.e. CHGO, i.e. any other media conglomerate like Chat Now Sports.
I don't want to go into a long story because it's too long for the show. This show is too valuable to talk about concrete. But
just looking out for you, Ted.
Talk about concrete all day, Carl. And Antman says, "Did you get a
Foster used to make concrete for a living."
I'm the one who. How do you think we have it? Why do you think we have it? No,
I would love to address this comment from Turbo Duran. I'm sorry. Well, dyslexia much?
Okay, so we have to win another guy in chat over. Okay, what's up, Turbo Duran, and why do you say that? What team are you a fan of, and why do you come in here hostile when we're just trying to have fun?
No, we're hostile.
We're gonna warm up.
Caleb. Here.
Bears suck, and so does your quarterback.
So which quarterback would you guys rather have, Love or Caleb Williams?
I'll just say, let me finish my sentence before you really interrupted me.
I always interrupt.
At the end of the night, you'll be super chatting us, Turbo Duran.
Nope.
You might be a Vikings fan, but you'll still become a fan of us. I'll tell you that much.
I just want to get this out before it gets lost in translation.
Hold on. Speaking of, as I'm saying that, New Breed 313 Sports comes in. Lions fan, who is our friend, who knows what we're talking about as a fan of a different team. So I challenge you, Turbo Duran. What fan of a team are you? Go ahead, guys. Sorry, I just needed to finish my sentence. You guys kept fucking interrupting me.
I just wanted to.
Could you bring back that Turbo Duran thing for a second there?
Yeah, I'll throw it up right now. I just want to make sure that Chad Speaker knows that we're just joking with you. We appreciate your time a lot more than your money. So if you want to give your $2 to Super Chat or to chat now, it's totally fine, man. We don't give a fuck. We just
no. I was just warning him.
With us.
No, it wasn't that. We want your money. I was just warning you. Like, be careful.
Oh, sorry, I lost the memo. Sorry, jeez.
Yeah, don't donate your money to a media conglomerate. They don't need your money. What? No super chats? Succubuses.
Oh yeah.
What? No super chats?
I would just you want to do just information. You get informed. Give me information and options, and I'll make the best decision for myself.
You like to stroke my pussy, darling?
We're just letting you know that that's not like there's tons of money there because Chat Sports is in every freaking NFL city in the country. I think almost. If they're not, they're close.
Yep.
I remember when they started. Go ahead, Sweet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, looking at Turbo's picture there, taking a second glance here, and then the word Bears suck in their quarterback. Sounds like you're an expert on sucking there, Turbo.
Ooh.
Looks to me, judging by your face and the way that you talk to everybody, I think you're an expert on sucking.
The guests of
Everybody's comments on the show.
Yes, thank you.
I got one question for Turbo based on the picture I'm seeing. Is he still breakdancing or is he still rocking the clothes from the 80s? What's going on? What's going on?
Where is my members only jacket?
From the 80s, man. So either he's rocking some B-boy or he needs to step up his clothes game. So.
Now, here's a little story that I'd like to tell. He spins on his head.
Yeah, he come out with a broom and start breakdancing.
Turbo likes to hawk two of that thing.
No, that was actually the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
That's what you were rocking, Dan. So
Vanilla Ice. Yeah. Now, here's a little story that I'd like to tell. That's all I know of that song, by the way.
Three man brothers, I like to tell. Yeah. I do so well. I can't remember. It started way back in history with something with my friend Mike D.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I could do some NWA gangster rap all night long, though.
Are you a little wine drunk, sir? We got to make sure you don't say anything you can't,
That's
retract.
alcohol. That's for some people. That's
I know. Yeah, it might be wine drunk, man.
What? And old school gangster rap, dude. That's badass.
I know, and you started with NWA. God bless you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Not even Eazy-E, right? Oh man. So yeah, good show, guys. Are we about? Sounds like we're done, or what's going on here?
I'm in a relaxed state now because I got everything I wanted off my chest, man.
Yeah,
so.
it's Bears fan therapy every Thursday night.
When they play sound clips from the press interview, it just blows my mind. Especially when Ryan Poles was asked as far as the troubles, Caleb Williams was having, and pretty much the GM looks back at the report and says, "Could you be more specific?" So the guy was just like,
50 times, missing open receivers,
a couple offensive coordinators, a little turmoil in a rookie quarterback's first year. For a GM to clap back and say, "Could you be more specific?" That was pretty alarming. And then when he's asked what the problems were, and he's saying, "Oh, this goes back to training camp." Well, as a GM, if you're seeing problems in training camp, isn't that your opportunity to pull the coach aside and ask him, "Hey, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why are we ending on a shitty play?
What do you need?
But he couldn't because he wanted to fire him and they wouldn't let him.
Why aren't we running this play till we get it right? You know, hey, I'm putting my job on the line for you. What are you doing here? You know, as a GM, I mean, he says he doesn't want to micromanage, but that's your job as a GM. Sometimes you have to micromanage. You know, and for him to say, you know, oh, this goes back to training camp. Well, then you're putting yourself on blast then. And like I said when I started, they had 6 weeks. They fired Eberflus 6 weeks ago, and we're Zooming now. All we're doing is Zoom meetings. Yeah, we're missing out on all the top guys, man. And all those top guys, they're looking at between 15 to 17 million. Are the Bears going to pay for that?
So just for the record, you're not able to bring in a Ben Johnson or an Aaron Glenn. They're on a playoff team, so this is kind of standard protocol.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
He was saying you got to do that.
You got to wait.
I'm not even sure if you're allowed to do that, but I'm not sure.
I've seen it twice. Once in chat and once on Twitter. The only Zoom interview Vrabel did was with the Bears. The only Zoom one. That's what I was trying to find more on that, man. Even Scottish Bear said it in the chat.
If you've got a source on that, I would love to see that.
That's what I'm trying to verify, man.
Hey, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah,
that's sad. If you're Zooming one of the top guys, you're either flying him in or you're flying out to talk to him. That's what you should be doing.
Like I said earlier,
if we go back when Lovey was coach, he flew out to see Julius Peppers to get him at midnight. They were at the door waiting for the guy. But you know, when you want the guy, you either bring him in or you go out to get him. And
we don't have a short list of 15 names. This is still, you know, they're collecting names for their short list. But I don't know. You said that like the Jets maybe are the only other team who's been able to take advantage, but their hiring options are terrible. So I don't think that the Bears are doing anything abnormal, in my opinion.
As you pointed out earlier, Carl, with the Zoom meetings being a standard practice, and the fact that George McCaskey had to do a meeting after the season and all that shit, it makes perfect sense. But I just think that when you have the brains and the capacity and the competence to identify at least your top 2 head coaches, your top 3, that you're going to maybe treat the other 25 or 30 coaches that you have in this long, undesirable list differently. And the fact that I think that we're all trying to make here is that they didn't go a little bit extra with Vrabel being in all of our eyes. Because for me, it's Josh McCown or it's Mike Vrabel with Josh McDaniels. And Josh McDaniels is never going to become a head coach. He's going to stay here and work with Vrabel as long as possible. And you can call him what you want as a head coach, shit, but he has been to multiple Super Bowls and won multiple Super Bowls as an offensive coordinator. Is that all Brady? I don't know. Is it the fact that he has a talent in the same, a better talent maybe in all regards with Caleb Williams that could actually transfer into this job? Yes. So for me, it's McCown. Everyone shits on that. I don't. They'll never even interview him, so he's not even in the picture. But for me, that's my guy. So ultimately, since he's not in the picture, it's Vrabel and McDaniels. And then after that, it's Ben Johnson and the what ifs. From there, every one of these jokesters that you see in this picture are literally just that. Cliff Kingsbury is maybe the only other guy I could take seriously. Maybe. But Flores did Tua wrong. Aaron Glenn's a defensive coordinator. He might be a great coach, but I'm just not. I as a fan do not want to go that route. Pete Carroll's too old. The Dolphins defensive coordinator looks like an up-and-coming McCaskey hire. Drew Petzig looks like Bearski with an extra tooth. The guy on the bottom right looks like Triple R. And the guy to the left of Matt Campbell looks like a McCaskey guy. Then you got the guy from New York. What's his deal? He got hit in the head too many times. And the guy in the middle, Joe Brady, is honestly probably the most quintessential McCaskey hire of all. Look at that smile. That's a yes man. That is a yes man.
Yes, man.
I have no confidence whatsoever in that lineup after Vrabel.
Let me ask you guys this.
You're talking about Vrabel and Carl. I'm going to answer your question. CBS News reports, according to multiple reports, Vrabel was interviewed in person on Thursday for the job left vacant when the Patriots fired.
And I already explained why.
What? Yeah,
I explained why the Jets. It was in person. It was a smokescreen for Robert Kraft.
But he did it in person. Now I'm trying to find the Jets one just to verify.
No,
it's just the Bears do certain things. They do certain things.
Carl, that was the Patriots.
Cheapest way freaking possible.
What?
That was the Patriots, right, Foster?
I thought he interviewed with the Patriots today, or he's doing it tomorrow. No, Foster just said that Vrabel interviewed with the Jets in person.
No, I just said on CBS reported that Vrabel last Thursday interviewed with the Patriots on Thursday. That's in a CBS report.
Maybe that was a virtual interview? I'm confused because I know that Vrabel interviewed in Boston today.
Here, I'm gonna read it again. Hold on. Now, CBS News, according to multiple sources, reports that Vrabel interviewed in person Thursday with the New England Patriots regarding the head coaching job after firing Jared Mayo.
Today. He interviewed today after the Bears.
In person. Now, I'm trying to find on the Jets because he interviewed with the Jets 6 days ago.
Yeah, but like I said, he probably did interview in person with the Jets, and there's this very obvious reason why, and that was to get the Patriots to fire Gerard Mayo, which they did.
Carl.
Yeah, right. They can't.
The Patriots.
Nobody can actually move. Nobody can actually just hire somebody right off the bat anyway, right?
The Patriots can. They bring out terrible interview targets to abuse the Rooney Rule to clear the deck for that. I mean, no one has heard about Brian Leftwich in the last 2 years. All of a sudden, he's immediately getting an interview with the Patriots. Yeah. They're scumbags. Yeah, and Robert Kraft is the mastermind behind it. He's the one who helped formulate the Rooney Rule.
They use the system just like all.
Yeah, they're abusing the system like any politician. It's disgusting. They should be ashamed. Here, look at this. Tom Pelissero today reporting that defensive coordinator of the Lions, Aaron Glenn, has declined an interview request from the Patriots. Why is that? Because he's not stupid. He sees what the shitty Crafts are doing. They're abusing that rule.
I don't like the rule personally. My thing is, with anything, like I always say, dude, I don't care if you're a pink elephant with blue spots. Give me the best motherfucker.
Exactly. It has nothing to do. I try and view skin color like hair color. The best man for the job, or woman, the best person for the job. Period.
Anything.
I agree with anything.
That. Would you want to get on an airplane and be the pilot be like 20% lower in grades and everything, but because he's Hispanic or Asian or black, they hired him.
All right,
so
guys.
Let's
play a game.
With anything. Sports, anything.
Are you saying a pink elephant with blue spots and wings is out of the question?
Nope.
Shouldn't be.
Not if it's the right elephant for the job.
Just want to make sure if it had wings.
If that elephant with wings could come in and turn this freaking team around, who would complain?
All right, guys. I want to play a game with everyone here. In the chat, feel free to be involved as well. We pounded the table for Jim Harbaugh. I don't feel like on my channel I said much about Harbaugh because it felt like it would fall on deaf ears. I'm a Chicago Bears fan and I'm a University of Michigan fan. Jim Harbaugh going to the Bears would have been my wet dream. I'd still be in a coma if that was the case. But anyway, how long do you think it took for the Chargers?
Carl.
I know. I know. How long do you guys think it took for the Chargers to hire Jim Harbaugh after interviewing him on January 15th? How many
15
days?
15 seconds.
when he walked out of the room, they
it was
said, "Oh, we got to
probably
call him
the
back because that's the
day.
guy we're hiring." Or did they even let him walk out of the room?
They knew
January
it before they brought him in.
January 16th, Brian Callahan. January 18th, David Shaw. It's going to keep going, guys.
You got to go through the process, man.
January
The same thing.
18th, Mike
They
Vrabel.
They couldn't bring in Harbaugh and interview him and hire him. You're not allowed to even do that.
No, they had already completed. Well, let's see if they did. Okay, so before
What-
that,
what I'm
Leslie
saying
Frazier, Steve Wilkes, they did it. They could have hired him
but
on
you
the
could-
spot. He was an eligible hire right then and there. They complied. Anyway, how many days
No,
did it
they
take
didn't
after
have the
January
Rooney
15th?
Rule complied.
Yes, they did. I'm showing you. January 14th,
did.
they interviewed
They did.
Yeah,
Leslie Frazier.
and then the
They
first
did.
guy down there.
Steve
Yeah,
Wilkes,
they did,
January
but-
13th. They
Keep
cleared
going
the deck.
back. Keep going back. No, keep going back.
Todd Monken, January 12th. Patrick Graham, January 11th. Kellen Moore, January 9th. Jiff Smith, God bless him, January 9th.
So it's the same thing that's going on with the Bears.
But I'm saying we
got
want to get
show
mad.
you all these people. We've got to show everybody that we're looking. We've got all these candidates, but they're just there to make us look good, and we've got to follow these rules.
But I'm just saying. No, but
I'm just saying too.
They were
I don't even know if
eligible
I'm
to
right.
hire Jim Harbaugh the second he stepped in. They didn't even have to interview him. They could have already had the big check, like a fucking Oprah show. Hey, here's your money, but guy, they could have done it. He just came off an undefeated season, 15-0, last legitimate national championship in college
Let me
history.
ask you a question. What's to say they didn't? And who's to say they didn't?
It's possible that he had to think about it, but I'm just saying we
just
want
saying,
these
dude.
guys to bring
It
in
doesn't-
Vrabel,
I
hire
could-
Vrabel.
If I'm the GM,
Act
of the
like a
Bears, I can
billion-dollar
pick up the phone
organization.
tomorrow. I could pick up the phone tomorrow and say, Mike, you're the coach, but we've got to go through this process. They could have done that. They could have done that anyways.
Okay, so you're dispelling everything we're saying about Vrabel. They could have told him today that he's the Bears' next head coach.
They could have.
And Vrabel, who's in a power position, could have said, I'm busy.
They could
I've
have,
got these
but
things
I
lined up.
highly
I'm going to
doubt-
do what I
highly
want.
doubt they did, and if they did, he'd probably turn it down.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, look at these names. So they interviewed him again on January 15th. We're going
the same-
name
it's
after
got some
name.
of the
January
same guys.
18th, Vrabel. January 19th, Dan Quinn. January
now with
20th, Aaron
Washington.
Glenn. January 20th, Ben Johnson. Raheem Morris on January
Okay.
20th. And after all that, on January 24th,
so all
9
you're
days
telling me-
later,
All
it
you're
took
telling
9
me
days
as a
to hire the
fan-
best coach available on the
All
cycle.
you're telling me as a fan is they went through the process they had to go through because they could have hired any
So-
one of those guys the minute they talked to them, and you
So
don't
we
know
wanna
nothing
have
about
our-
it ever.
We want to have our therapy and rant, but this is what we're looking at. They're just casting a wide net and they're doing their due diligence. It's the smart thing.
I just think it's because they have to show this to everybody, especially with all the heat they're getting. They have to. We've got to bring in everybody we can because there's so much heat from all the dumb mistakes we've made the last 5 seasons.
I see you throwing your head back.
That's it. I'm pulling myself.
What does it fucking matter? Like this.
I fucking love you, Shorty, man.
I love you too, Chips, man. You know, it's like, what does it matter? This is not the Chargers organization. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the McCaskies. It's going to get fucked up once again. It will get fucked up. We're all going to be sitting here talking ourselves into it not being a fuck up. And it's going to be a
we'll
fuck
be
up.
excited. Irregardless, we'll be excited for the new guy.
We're going to be doing a draft marathon here on BCP all 3 fucking days, all excited, jacked up. Cole's got this shit.
Jacked
Only to
up or
sit back-
jacked off?
Both.
It depends on who's available.
Yeah, depends on who's exactly.
You got that Wisconsin Rolodex ready to go, Foster?
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody stole it, man. It got burned.
Get that beer brat pussy ready for the. You got to keep that mustache dyed. What? No super chats?
Proper staining is required.
Shit,
All right, now I'm
fuck Green Bay.
So to wrap up last season, the Bears sucked. The coaching staff sucked.
To wrap
a lot
up,
of the players didn't do their job.
On the whole, and I was getting to this earlier, and these are just stats. If you looked at just stats and you looked at Caleb Williams and Jordan Love, you would by far and away think that Caleb Williams had a better season and a better record statistically because he's got more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions. But those are just stats. And the defense is what it can be when it wants to be, depending on health. You know, we still need help there. Matter of fact, I was looking at my early draft stuff and the position that we're in. We might, if the right guy's there at 10, we might want to go defensive end, even defensive tackle, because there's a few of them up there that if they're sitting there at 10, which we'll get into later with the draft stuff. But
well, let's just trade up to first overall for Mason Graham.
Wait, let's just trade all of our draft picks for a head coach is what you want to do, Carl, so we have no draft picks.
Correct!
Yeah, Carl wants to trade for a McVay.
And Carl, I'm in on trading for McVay myself. I am now.
No, because you're gonna take all of your draft capital and piss it into a head coach, and then have no draft capital to fix your offensive line or your defensive line with.
I mean, you're not going to give up all your draft capital away this year, right? Like, we're talking about a top 10 pick, which is fringe 2 first-round picks. We're not talking about trading away 25 and 29. We're talking about trading away 10. That's a good start. At the end of the day, it's just a head coach, but the head coach has a lot more valuable than a guy who's going to bust out. I was thinking of, like, Michael Haynes, right? You guys should know who that is. Wasn't he a first-round pick who just flamed the fuck out? Like, you can easily swing and miss.
He died.
I can look at that Gruden trade.
He didn't flame out. He died.
No, I swear to God, there was a defensive end taken really high by the Bears that flamed out. He was a bad player before something bad happened. I'm sure maybe that happened too, and God rest his soul. But
so did Poles say this, and will Warren allow him to do it? Chad Speaker says Poles said we could trade draft picks for a coach.
Courtney Cronin is the one who asked Poles the juicy question, and of course Poles is not going to tip his hand either way. So he gave the boring old, we'll see about that. Everything's on the table, which that made me happy. I'm in my Twitter troll phase. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not going to say, no, we're not doing that. I mean, that'd be stupid.
Well, no, he could have said I wouldn't, you know, unless something wows me, like he always says, which I'm the same way. I wouldn't be willing to give up draft choices or any draft capital. But there's always an exception to the rule, and there's always a first, as we've talked about many times, man. There's always a first time for stuff to happen. So I don't know. I just think it still comes down to fucking what we've been talking about forever. We always get back to this one. It ain't the offensive line. It's the ownership and what they're doing to mess up anybody trying to do anything proper in this organization. Because I feel like we're already back where we were in 1999. You've got Warren in there. He's the bean counter. He's going to try and put this stadium deal together to save the McCaskies in the organization. See, here's the thing with the stadium thing. If they do it in Chicago, it saves the Bears $3 billion. If they do it in Arlington Heights, they got to pay. They're going to have to come up with $3 billion more. That's the whole reason they're doing it in Chicago.
If they did it in Arlington Heights and took out a 5-year fucking loan, they would pay that off.
We know that. But it still doesn't matter because if you're going to save us $3 billion, we got to stay in the city.
Well, we're going to get a public owned stadium and go through all this bullshit rigmarole and pay 20 times as much to build a stadium here with all your fucking city taxes.
The taxpayers foot the bill for the other $3 billion or whatever it is because it's publicly owned. What do we still owe on the other deal? $800 million from 22 fucking years ago.
No, we owe, as of last year, we owed 89 million. So I'm going to pray right now that we owe 85. Oh, God,
$85 million, and it's 23 years after the project was started, and the taxpayers of Illinois are still paying for this crap. Now I'm going to go on a rant. We need to get off this fucking thing and not bitch about the fucking state of Illinois because they suck.
The fucking Viking Stadium was built over 5 years ago and it's already paid off.
That's another reason that a lot of players don't want to come here either, because they get a big chunk of their money taken away. much rather go play in Florida or Texas because they're not getting their pockets pinched. I mean, there's just so many angles to it. But it all starts with the fucking McCaskies.
Don't forget about.
Oh my God!
Don't forget about all the open road tolling too, you guys. You know, the governor and the state is interconnected into all of the interstate system around there too. So they want the revenue of people going to downtown Chicago instead of going to Arlington Heights. You can believe that. All the open road tolling. You know, so that's like ka-ching, ka-ching, cash box. You know, so they're not. So the state of Illinois is not going to try to give up the waterfront very easily. You see what I'm saying? Because of the revenue. Just think about the money that people are making parking and freaking all kinds of, you know. So that's why, you know, I don't think they're going to move to Arlington Heights without some kind of incentive, some way that they know that they're going to get a kickback for the state. That's why the state was trying to stick it to them for them to even move there. They were trying to charge them all that, like $250 billion or whatever ridiculous amount.
200 million.
It's all politics, man. They're not. George McCaskey is just a puppet, man. You know, that's the point I was trying to make. It's not the same as what it was back in, you know, when George Halas was creating this business and everything. It's changed a lot. So, you know, on one side I can empathize with George, but the thing that burned me up the most was when he was talking about him selling his freaking press box. First he was complaining. He was complaining that the fucking Lions that basically the Lions plant, they almost took over the damn stadium, and then he was complaining about it, and then come to find out that for the game he was complaining about, he fucking gave his personal freaking box tickets to some guy that was a Lions fan. He filled it up with fucking Lions fans. You believe that?
It was Derek
if I find that's through George McCaskey, I'm just telling you, man. You should feel fucking fortunate that I don't drive a fucking semi, because I come up there and personally fucking put my foot in your eye.
It was Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa Hotel out in Vegas. He called up George McCaskey and was like, "Hey, I want, you know, I'm a freaking Lions fan and I want a box."
Right.
Yeah, and he brought a bunch of Lions fans out, decked up in all the Lions gear. And here's George McCaskey complaining that, we can't have Lion fans taking over the Bear Stadium and chanting. Our Bear players had to go to a silent count because the Lion fans were cheering so loud. Well, dude, you're freaking selling boxes to Lion fans, man. You're complaining about a situation you created.
And to your point earlier, Squeegee, you are so correct. Like anyone driving from Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, anywhere out, if they drive into the city to watch a Bears game at Soldier Field, they're going to unknowingly hit that fucking toll system, and they're going to do exactly what I did when I moved from that fucking wretched state. Mm-hmm. And every time I drove home, I drive home several times a year, it got to a point where I had to go buy an iPass just to get through the toll systems, because you never know where they're coming up, and they force you to read the toll sign that tells you owe $3.75 at this toll booth as you're passing it at 75 miles an hour, and you're not supposed to be on your phone, so you can't type it in your notebook on your phone what toll plaza you missed, and you're supposed to keep your eyes on the road. And who has a pen and paper just sitting on their fucking dash ready to write down the toll plazas that they miss? So every time they miss a toll plaza going to Soldier Field and they don't know about it, their $3.75 toll turns into a $75 fucking bill. You are damn spot on about that. The state of Illinois is so fucking corrupt. It hurts. It hurts.
But Dan, if you have iPass, you pay less than when you pay more because you don't have iPass.
You pay more, but you also pay 3 times as much or 4 or 5 times as much because you can't possibly write down the fucking toll plaza you're passing at 65 miles an hour and go, fuck, what was that? Fuck, did you see that? Then you gotta like
IllinoisTollway.com. I mean, you can't read that while you're going 70 miles an hour.
You have 7 fucking days. 7 days, guys. I know this for a fact. You have to immediately go, fuck, how many toll plazas did I miss? And if you don't know this, you're fucked. You have to get to your destination, pull out your computer, go, what road was I on? How many toll plazas did I go on? Let me check those, and then you still might not be registered in that at the time that you view it. It might not show up for a day or two, and you think you're okay. Then you get a $75 bill in the mail for 4 toll plazas. It happened to me.
Yeah, well, then you call them up and just tell them because I did the same thing.
Please try calling.
I had the same thing. I had the same problem. I had like 5 tolls that I missed because I didn't have an iPass. So I got the iPass, and I was able to get them to not charge me all that.
Please try calling up Foster in his fucking 20s, working for the toll plaza. Fucking, I'm sure you did it back in the day.
Man, Foster, did you ever work at the DeKalb toll plaza?
I worked at that. Of course he did.
No, but I worked at Northern Illinois University.
All right. You didn't have like a freaking,
no,
like a Harley Davidson t-shirt on underneath your freaking flak jacket there at the freaking DeKalb toll plaza?
I never worked at the you know what worked on the tolls for a couple decades?
Squeegee?
Those Nico candies. The Nicos?
You nailed it. What was it? What was the question? Where did he work?
The DeKalb, Illinois toll plaza. They used to have a freaking toll booth there with some guy that was there.
I'm writing it down.
He was a big freaking Harley rider, dude.
That's officially the first place you never worked, Foster. That's the first place you officially never worked. Can't fucking believe it. Foster didn't work there.
All right.
Yeah, but I said I've used that toll plaza because I was working in Northern Illinois at DeKalb, dude. So I've driven through it.
I love you, Foster. Every time we're hanging out, we're like, yeah, my buddy used to work at the dog food plant on there. Yeah, I used to work there too. Yeah, my buddy. I used to do road paving on this. I used to work for that company too.
Dude, when you're 800 years old, you worked everywhere around the world. You got to remember that shit.
Oh, you're dating yourself. You're only 752. You're just rounding up.
Yeah, according to the high school picture, it's like 4,000 years old.
Oh, that's right. I gotta pull that high school picture of yours up. Oh god.
So is that on like a Rolodex thing, the picture that you're gonna get, like in the archives, or do you gotta like go down into it somewhere or what?
No, it was.
Or is it actually on the computer?
It was literally carved in stone.
Oh, all right. Moses brought it down from the mountain.
No, I got it here. I got picture. I got his high school yearbook picture. Foster's the guy in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, that's my yearbook photo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a guy in the middle?
Yes. Well, can you tell by the beard? The beard. And see how he's got all the instruments in his hand? Those are all the different jobs that Foster had.
Okay, wait a minute. Now I see the guy on the far left. See, I was looking at the...
No, not the bird-headed guy.
No.
The guy in the
right
middle.
in the middle.
Yeah. With all the tools in his hand.
There's 2 people to the right and only 1 to the left. All that list, he's carving down all the work I did because these bitches won't pay me.
Yeah.
It's just a normal week.
On the left, he's got the hook to grab the women by the neck, and on the right, he's got the whip to whip him in the ass.
Well, because you could get payment. You could get payment in other ways without getting arrested back then.
True.
It was
that was a long fucking time ago.
You know what it kind of looked like, man, was the one on the left there. It looked like it had long hair, kind of like a normal person, and the guy in the middle there. Yeah, he's got like the cone head, and so does the other one there. I think those are like the world's first 2 like transvestites or whatever they call them. That's like the first transgenders, and then the dude on the left's normal.
I'm gonna reveal the truth now, Squeegee. That's me and Virginia McCaskey. We're aliens.
Oh no shit! I knew something was up, man. I could just smell it.
That was Foster when he had hair, guys. It's just he had a lot of
I had
hair.
hair once. Even Tony Mike thought that was me in Virginia. See?
Foster's
Foster in Virginia?
Foster's first date.
Hilarious. By the way, I wanted to show you guys this. My aunt for my 50th birthday got me this.
Oh.
This football, although it's only printed signatures on it, this football was reportedly by my aunt who got it from Ruth Hughes, her foundation or whatever. She used to be the personal secretary of George Halas. This ball sat in George Halas's office for years, and she got it when George passed. And then after she passed, I don't know how my aunt got it, but according to my aunt, this ball sat in George Halas's office on a little stand. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. I'm going to have to do the same.
So are you holding on to George's ball?
Literally one of George's balls.
Well, it's a good thing somebody's got something of George's.
I'm gonna start rubbing this every night and pray to it and be
Is
like,
McMahon's signature on there?
this is 1982, so no. Steve McMichael. I saw Dan Hampton
in 82.
83.
McMahon was not drafted with all the bigwigs. Do I got the wrong year? Maybe I'm mixing it up.
Walter Payton's on here. McMahon was 83. Matt Suey, Dan Hampton, George Halas himself.
Well, what's the great football draft class?
Doug Plank is on here. Look right there. Doug Plank.
You can see you got a lot of the 70s throwbacks.
Right here. Doug Plank. Yeah, this is 82 balls. So
Terry Schmidt, Bob Avellini,
Brooks Williams, Terry Schmidt. Yep.
Terry Schmidt was great. Remember Terry Schmidt, Squeegee?
Not really off the top of my head.
44, big white dude. He ended up being a dentist. He was just an underrated cornerback, literally a cornerback.
Gary.
Yeah. I probably seen him, but without seeing his face, no.
Walter Payton.
Oh yeah, that's my guy. That's my hero.
That's pretty cool. Oh, this is very special. I got one of George's balls.
Just don't put it in your mouth.
Did Chips Ahoy just bug the fuck out?
I think he immediately disconnected. He didn't go off stage or anything. I think he maybe lost the internet or something. I'm not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a grumpy old man. He's probably like, I'm done with this shit. I'm out of here.
It seemed like he genuinely enjoyed being able to rant, even though he got hit in the middle of it. Like he like you said, he kind of chilled out afterwards.
Yeah. See, this has become the weekly Bears fan therapy show every fucking Thursday at exhaustion.
Today's opportunity cost is not being able to watch Abdul Carter for Penn State. It's a good game going on right now.
Oh, see? You guys are hanging out with us. All 232 of you.
Yeah, I got some bad news for you, but we had like 50 viewers in here at one point on YouTube, which is fantastic. If you want to disprove me wrong, okay? If you can hear my voice on the good old Twitter machine, please say hello. We would love to interact with you guys on the Twitter side. Drop a chat.
Yeah, the Twitter bot is pretty active these days.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It feels a little bit view body, but
yeah, it does. It feels good to look up and see 236 people. That you're standing on a soapbox for 236 people feels good though.
I try and think of it as like you're in like you're presenting in like at a room or something, and just imagine a room of 200 people, right? And it just being silent. That's not possible. There's going to be a little tiny bit of noise at the very least.
But if everyone was viewing just one person and there was silence, you might have one of those guys who'd be like, fucking say something, or whatever. But
that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that one guy to say, anything in the chat. Just dispel me, prove me wrong.
We should get to the chat because we have been on a rant, kind of ignoring them tonight. And you guys are freaking awesome. You guys have been blowing up chat. We apologize. We should get to you guys. You guys are the reason why we do this. So what's up, Chicago Sports Podcast? Thanks for hanging out with us. Brandon Hyatt. Cliff Victoria.
Tony Moy. Did you see that Minister Charles Johnson is in the chat?
I did.
I know PJ loves a good Johnson.
PJ.
I'm missing PJ right now. I'm not going to lie to you.
PJ's still here. Look, he was just recently.
I know.
What's up, Peach?
I'm glad he's participating in the chat at the very least. Fantastic. The Scrolls. There's a lot of people who pulled in when we were having the rants. It was a good time. Good time.
Yeah, Hair Bear hanging out with us again. Hair Bear was on the show one time. We'd love to have you on again. Hair Bear. Slick Sophistication. Chad Spieger, man. Chad Spieger just came out of nowhere like a meteorite, huh?
I have if we want to start pontificating here at about an hour and 45 minutes into the stream, when did Chad Spieger really start to become active in our chats?
Oh, what do you say, Chad? Month and a half ago?
Let me give you a little bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Shorty.
Would you like to stroke my pussy, darling?
Right after DVD.
Yeah.
Right. Are you DVD Chad Spieger?
A little bit interesting, isn't it?
No, I actually text DVD, and he totally ignored me.
Oh, no.
I'm almost worried about him.
I wonder if he's going to be in the Gulf of Mexico when Trump makes it the Gulf of America. How funny would that be?
He's going to move to Greenland and be like, fuck, this is America.
I'm just kidding. That's awesome.
Oh, man. So who do you guys in chat? Like, what do you guys want? Am I making any sense to any one of you with the cool guy in the room attitude? Or do you guys have one of these? Have you narrowed it down to like the least dildo-y of the dildos in this picture? Obviously, Vrabel's not a dildo. Neither is Ben Johnson.
One thing I saw you doing, Shorty, you were kind of drawing the parallels to last year when you were banging the table for the great Jim Harbaugh, and now you feel like you have the same conviction for McCown.
I do.
But Jim was an absolute cannot miss target.
Until he wasn't that until he became that.
No. He was the head coach of a college team that went undefeated. And not like a pipsqueak conference. Like the Big Ten is as good as it gets.
But he was also the coach of the Niners that went to the Super Bowl and barely lost.
So you're starting to prove
also a head coach of Stanford.
Point. You're starting to prove
I'm adding to your point, yeah. But here's my point. We're going to go hire one of these dildos. It's going to be one of these dildos.
Hold on. There's 15 images. There's 15 images and only 14 dildos.
Right. So the other two are not in the picture because they're not dildos. So you have to be a dildo to automatically become eligible for the job. So you eliminate the two that are not dildos, the three that are not dildos, maybe four. The rest are McCaskey-looking dildos, except for Triple R. So you're going to be stuck with one of these guys in this next cycle, and then you're going to watch some other team hire Josh McCown just because some other team made him an offensive coordinator, and then we're going to be sitting here saying the same thing, in my opinion, about Josh McCown in 2, 3, 4 plus years. We're going to have the same conviction as wishing, why not just leapfrog the fact that he hasn't called plays and admit to ourselves he can probably put together a damn good playbook. And if he didn't call plays, he at least has a hell of a Rolodex of coaches in his long 18 plus years in this league that he would have immediately available to be his offensive coordinator.
So my direct response to that is it feels like you have fallen directly into the Chicago Bears McCaskey family school of thought. The unproven. I'm sorry. It starts with the goody two shoes 4-3 defensive scheme, old man defensive coordinator. No, that's not good enough. Now we got to go unproven wise guy, whiz kid, young unproven offensive coordinator.
Yes,
we're on this side right now with Eberflus. So for them to go an offensive mind who is unproven against the grain, that would be a McCaskey move, and that'd suck and that'd scare me. So,
no, a McCaskey move would be to overcorrect and go get a Mike McCarthy.
We are overcorrecting.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll and Mike McCarthy are a lot closer to Eberflus than Josh McCown. Josh McCown would be the opposite overcorrection, in my opinion. I want to play, again, another game with you guys. So I think that the two most likely names outside of my fantasy land of trading for an icon would be to either hire Vrabel or Ben Johnson. So Shorty, then Squeegee. What would your guys' immediate reactions be to first signing Mike Vrabel to be the head coach of the Bears? Immediate reaction.
I'd be fine with it as long as he had Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator.
Just fine? You're just like, okay.
I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't be over the top, but I would want an offensive coordinator like a McDaniels that would stick. And if I don't want a revolving door. I don't want to. That's the only reason why I don't want a defensive-minded head coach. Vrabel is the only reason why I would take a defensive-minded head coach is because of his leadership, his coaching abilities. And look, he lost his job because of what? Matt LaFleur left to the Packers.
I think that the Titans team was propped up with really elite talent around a really bad quarterback.
And right? LaFleur got the best out of that quarterback, and then when he left, he lost his job. So you don't want that. You want the guy that's running the offense, running the show ultimately, and you don't want it to be an overcorrection either with a proven guy. It doesn't have to be a proven guy with an overcorrection. It can be the guy that nobody's thinking about. It can be a Josh McCown. What do you want to say, Squeegee?
Yeah, Squeegee, I want to hear your thoughts on what your immediate reaction be to the Bears hiring Vrabel, and I also want Shorty to review my private chat regarding Cliff Victoria's alternate account.
Okay. Vrabel, I believe the guy would get the job done, and I just think that if we went that route, as I was trying to explain before, I think that route would maybe hinder Caleb's ceiling a little bit, and it would take him a little longer to come along if we went that route. I'm not saying that I'm against it. I'm just saying that I think as a whole, he would probably get the team going in the right direction quicker than anybody else, but I don't think that he would get to the ceiling offensively that some other coaches can, because he's more of a defense. He's a Belichick guy. You know what I mean? So and then like I said, he's going to be a little more predictable, and so with a newer coach, that comes in, sure, they don't have the experience, and I really don't. It's not that I would prefer that, but I think that with them farming all of these coaches that are coming in, that's the reason why. Is they want to kind of build some redundancy into the coaching. They're basically, I think, going to get a group of coaches, not just a single coach.
Yeah, it's not going to be Mike Vrabel and that's it. So as far as like an immediate reaction, it almost sounds like your expectations for the Bears would be as low as maybe they are right now, just like not even a playoff team, or do you think they'd even have a snuff at the playoff?
I think honestly, I think that it's kind of ridiculous to talk about playoffs because
I know I'm just gauging your immediate reaction to hiring Vrabel. What that would be.
What that would be, I would be excited for. I mean, I think the guy could get the job done. I think he has the leadership skills, certainly. I think that he has the personality and probably the what would I say, the credentials, to bring the locker room together and maybe and pull the team together. But like I said, I don't know if that would push Caleb along with it. I think, like I said, I kind of think that would. I don't know. That's just what my gut says. The other thing is it's like I was saying that I really don't think he's going to be there for us anyway. I think he's going to go to New England.
It's a foregone conclusion, but I think he has an interview lined up with the Raiders, and the Raiders are a really interesting team in the sense that Tom Brady, his old teammate, is partial owner, and miraculously after firing the coach, they've also fired the general manager. So it feels like, again, all circling back to my original point of Mike Vrabel being kind of the most sought-after candidate and having the most power, because we're seeing potentially Mike Vrabel has gotten 2 head coaches fired. He's definitely gotten Gerard Mayo fired, and in my opinion, he probably got Antonio Pierce fired as well, which is really weird to think about. So, flip side, Shorty, if you're ready, what would your immediate reaction to a Ben Johnson hiring look like then?
Kind of like what I'm doing right now. I would kind of take a deep breath and wonder what he could bring to this team. Every team is different, every year is different, and every team. You lose players, you're in that window. That window is that window. You're there. Like the Lions are there. Ben Johnson is in that window with the Lions. That offensive line is so overwhelmingly great that he uses his right tackle for gimmick plays.
PFF doesn't say that their line is that good, by the way. I don't know what your immediate reaction to me saying that is, but I say that very jokingly. Very jokingly.
I like Pro Football Reference more than PFF.
Do you guys know who owns PFF? I hope Adam Mason's listening to me right now.
Yeah, it's
You got it.
Chris Collinsworth.
Correct.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? We're using Chris Collinsworth's work to justify if we should draft a player, if we should move on from a player. It's a bit terrifying.
Not me. I use PFR.
I use eye test and vibes. Because I don't work for the NFL. Surprise. Or in the NFL, I'm sorry.
I watch YouTube.
Yeah. Again, eye test. Squeegee, what would your immediate reaction to the Bears hiring Ben Johnson be? Immediate reaction.
Skepticism. I would be excited about it, but I would also wonder what would have to come next. Because I don't think him alone. I don't know. I don't see him taking and picking his own staff and and just taking off in a leadership role without a crutch, if you know what I'm saying. So
I think the first 24 hours would almost be like I'd be the closest to nervous more than anything.
Right.
But then after those first 24 hours, man, I'd be over the moon. I mean, the best offensive mind, but the best offensive coordinator in the last 2 years, bar none, paired with the best quarterback the Bears have ever had in their franchise's history, you'd got to be optimistic of that. But I think Shorty has taught me a very valuable lesson. I'm never going to pick the Bears to win a Super Bowl. I think I picked them to win 10, 11 games this year. I don't have the Bears. There isn't a move that the Bears could make that I think I'm going to pick the Bears to be above 500 next year. I'll see it when I believe it.
One thing I'll add to you is I'm not as worried about the coaching decision nowadays as I would have, years ago, just because of the parity and everything. So it's kind of hard to get it's a group. We need a coach that's going to be able to freaking make everybody bind together. And I mean from the top down, including the fans, instead of all of this freaking disunity and people freaking arguing all the time,
Yeah,
we need to get somebody that can bring everyone together, all pulling in the same fucking direction. That's how you win. Really, that's how you win. That's simple football.
You're talking almost hiring a new mayor for the city of Chicago as well, because there's a lot of negativity just in the city, in my opinion.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. It's fucking politics.
This just popped into my head a really strong point for Mike Vrabel. I would hope that there's candidates that have a cabinet of people that they'd be able to pick and choose from and kind of thrust into their positions. But in the same breath, maybe that's like hot candidates that are kind of being tugged on from other candidates for other positions. Mike Vrabel's been unemployed for a year. Don't you think that he'd have the strongest group of people to say, hey, but when I'm a head coach, we're going to do this thing together? Wouldn't you think that he'd have like a close-knit, really strong cast ready to go from day one? I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah, well, he's got the reputation for it anyway. So I mean, even if he didn't, I don't think that he would have any trouble finding a staff that would follow him, just because of his credentials. I mean, first of all, he was coached by freaking the best coach ever, Belichick, and then he won like 3 Super Bowls himself with New England, and was there and seeing how Brady did it and everything. So I'm pretty sure that he's got stuff. He's got plenty of backup if he needs it.
Yeah. Not to play devil's advocate, but I mean, we saw if it was the chicken or the egg. Once Tom Brady left the Patriots sucked, and Tom Brady won a Super Bowl. So I don't know. Vrabel's reputation, in my opinion, speaks for himself. Like I said, most impressive thing is took over the first year, and the second year he has his team in the AFC Championship game, all with the help of one Ryan Tannehill. So if you give Mike Vrabel a very good quarterback, and God knows how talented I think Caleb Williams is, could be sky's the limit.
I agree. I'm in chat right now. You guys, I'm not even part of the show. Go ahead.
You never got that audio clip of PJ saying, "I'm running the chat."
I'm running the chat.
That would be the perfect time to run that.
I got the chat. I was just talking to chat saying I have never put anyone in a timeout or blocked anyone in chat except for Don Burr right now for insulting Plank.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get so specific because I love how J2K has phrased this. Don't give oxygen to the fire, the dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have to tell you guys how to act in this chat.
No shit.
Like I say, just treat others the way that you'd want to be treated. It's really simple.
Don Burr, I have tried and tried and tried. Listen, how many people have come in here and been a dick, and we've talked them out of being a dick, right? Don Burr is untalkable out of being a dick. There is nothing you can fucking do to talk that fucking guy out of being a dick. If the guy could just come in here and at least have any kind of football talk or show some kind of respect. But when we have someone like Plank, who's never in our fucking chat, he's always commenting because he can never catch it live on a Thursday night, and he's here with us, and he's being insulted by Don Burr. Fuck you, Don Burr. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need your shit. Come in here and be a respectful chat member like everyone else, including all the other people who come in here wanting to be a dick and get talked out of being a dick because we're so cool on this show. Get your fucking head out of your ass, Don.
2 hours and 4 minutes. I'm going to have to make that a new audio clip as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
By the way, Notre Dame just defeated Penn State.
Good to hear it. 2 hours.
Sorry there, Mr. Shorty. I misunderstood. I thought Don Burr one thing. I didn't realize that you blocked him. I thought maybe his girlfriend sprung an air leak or something.
Unbelievable.
He doesn't have a girlfriend. He's too young. He lives in his mom's basement.
I don't know if that went over your head. I mean, he was insinuating that Don is dating a blow-up doll, which I think is very, very accurate.
You didn't hear the story about Don Burr's girlfriend? Oh my God, man! Back in the heyday, I guess freaking Dan Campbell was at this freaking swanky hotel partying down and freaking got pissed off and freaking stabbed his girlfriend and freaking she fell out the window, and I guess a fast thinking stalker named Mr. Don Burr, a very, very quick thinker, slapped a couple pieces of duct tape on her, blew her back up, and now she's his girlfriend. Dan Campbell's jealous too, man.
Nice. Oh man, I don't normally get mad at Don Burr, but I'm sorry, I had to. I normally try to reserve a soft spot in my heart for Don Burr because I feel like one day he's gonna come around, but he just never does. And I don't need him insulting our chat, especially Plink. Plink is a member, for fuck's sake.
Plank did admittedly say he poked him, but in the same breath, I mean, again, just treat others the way that you want to be treated. I don't know. Maybe
Plank is our first member, by the way.
Yeah, maybe Don Burr was a little bit wine drunk, like a certain Shorty. I'm just kidding.
My wine buzz is wearing off.
I can tell you're not yelling anymore.
It was only a bottle.
Unbelievable.
All right, go lay down.
Well, speaking of 2 hours, you want to wrap this up here?
Good boy.
We've confirmed that Foster's not coming back.
Yeah, I think Foster's probably crawled back into his coffin.
Yeah, I just don't want to cut him off, but I mean,
Chips Ahoy boy bugged out.
I really appreciated Chips Ahoy boy's time. I'll be very honest. I thought that Chips Ahoy boy was closer to a Don Burr than a Plank in chat, if you know what I mean. But his rant today was epic. Might have to re-upload that as like a separate little thing.
Oh shit! Make it a clip of its own.
Maybe make it members only? No, I'm just kidding. That would be very scummy. That'd be very chat sports of us.
That's the thing. Like, please,
Fucking ladder.
Everyone who's a member of this, I know that you might expect perks and things like that, but listen, this is already hard enough to do once a week. The membership page was put up basically for anyone who wants to basically donate to the channel to help us out with the costs of this, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap. For a good production to run this StreamYard that we're using here is $90 a month itself, and then it goes from there. So just letting you guys know, I'm not begging you guys for money. When I put out the membership thing, it's because people told me I should. I appreciate everyone who is a member in here. We will give you some extra perks here and there, like Carl made some kick-ass shorts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you guys are really sick of hearing this,
what, no super chats,
and you want to get your money's worth as a member, I can make each and every short that gets uploaded. I can make that maybe like a 24-hour in advance for members only. If you really cannot wait for these shorts, for this content, you'll get something.
Yeah. At the very least, if we make even a video, right, like a clip of this, members only first kind of a thing.
Well, there's the super chats. We just had to ask for them, but
what? No super chats?
It did match up. It did match up. That was crazy.
Chad's a member now.
That's amazing.
Listen, thank you. Super chats? Thank you, Chicago Sports
No,
Podcast.
Dan, there are super chats. Quit repeating it.
Thank you for your $9.99 donation. See at Chicago Sports Podcast tracks. We appreciate that. And then Chad Speaker just became a new member. We appreciate that. Listen, when I made the membership, it was for $2.99 because I don't want to be like, hey, you guys want to pay $5 a month for this? I wanted to make it the lowest tier that I could make it, just to, because I know everyone can't afford this kind. This is extracurricular activity for all of us. So I appreciate all of you that are members that do subscribe. I appreciate all of your super chats. Everything does go to the bottom line of this, which is still in the red, and it's all here to hang out with you. So I can't thank you guys enough, man. Thank you. Fucking thank you.
We'll be in the red until we have a certain number 23 for the Chicago Bears on the podcast.
He's right in the middle. What do you do? Come on, Squeegee. Where's?
That's not what I was referring to. Maybe I should have clarified the second best 23 in Chicago Bears history. But
by the way, Chicago Sports Podcast has helped us out as a sister channel of ours. brother channel of ours, I should say, in giving us the contacts to Jerry Azuma and Jim Miller. So we're trying to line those two up in the future to be guests here on the show with us. So thank you very much for that, Chicago Sports Podcast. Trax, Brendan Hyatt, appreciate you. Much love. We are all in this together, and appreciate all the conglomeration that we all have. Bearski Films. There's been so many others. We appreciate you guys. Oh, Thanks, my podcast.
Got to get back to that, but yeah, I mean, that's my favorite thing about this whole thing is just being able to interact with people. And I think the special thing about BCP is we get to have people who maybe wouldn't otherwise be on the screen. Squeegee, Chips Ahoy Boy. I mean, the damn name of the channel is Bears Country. So if you guys are listening to me right now, by the way, too, and you don't feel comfortable necessarily being live on the screen, I said this in another chat, but how cool would it be for you guys to have, like, if you had a really serious question, send us a video. You could send the email to, is it bearscountrypodcast@gmail.com?
Yeah, it's right over here.
Send us an email that's a video. Just take a video with your phone and say, hey, here's my question. We'll listen to it in its entirety and then react to it, as opposed to your chat and screen, which we're not a super large channel. We'll be able to see it in chat, but if you really want to have it have its time, send us a video. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, and the best way to do that is to use that email there, bearscountrypodcast@gmail. Because if you send it to me on Twitter, it's difficult for me. I can't download it from Twitter. I have to share it on the screen a different way. It's a lot more work. If you send us an email, I can easily download it, pull it up right on the show, and it's a lot easier for us. So that's a great idea, Carl. Oh, Don Burr's back.
I want to say it's not my original idea. It was your original idea, in my opinion. But yeah, even if you have to send it via social media, that's the only way you know how, or the only way you want to, I can help make that work. Not a problem.
Don, I can put you in another timeout, bro. I didn't ban you. I put you in a timeout. You gonna be okay now? You're gonna pull your shit together, buddy? I told you. Told you I'm rooting for you. What the fuck what else do you want? Just come on.
You're just trying to win these people
be a
over.
good guy. Jesus.
Maybe we should have asked Don Burr's initial reaction to his fabled offensive coordinator being the new head coach of the Bears with the fabled Caleb Williams.
We know what he's going to say.
He isn't that good.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like how they're injecting PFF lies. The Lions' offensive line isn't that good. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, they started it.
Yeah, I know. He said, baby, I love Aunt Miss. That's awesome.
Oh, man. Don, you're rarely even ever in here to disrupt our chat, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks
you know
for
you've made it when Don.
contributions.
You know you've made it when Don Burr's fucking up your chats, and I guess we've made it. Look, Don Burr's here fucking up our chats.
So you seriously got Don Burr on there? Can you ask him a question? Can you ask him a question?
You can ask him a question.
He
you're
hears
live.
your voice right now,
Okay.
Squeegee.
All right. Hey, Don. You know what sexual position produces the ugliest kids? Ask your mom.
Dan's beside himself.
I'm just kidding, man. You know, I'm trying to have fun with you.
No, he's insulting you much worse. He's saying you have
You're
Down
welcome.
syndrome.
You're welcome to come into the chat. I wish I would have freaking not blocked you a long time ago, but you know, I made that mistake or whatever. I'd be happy to freaking split cut downs with you. I'm not scared of you. Bring it on.
Yeah.
I was a truck. Believe me, I was a trucker for like 20 years, dude. You ain't gonna fucking tell me a joke. Okay.
You know what the best piece of advice I ever got from a trucker was?
What's that?
I met a trucker in Texas at the old 96er, that big steakhouse that's in I'm at a loss of words right now. The steakhouse where you can, no, not Austin.
Amarillo,
Texas. The steakhouse you can go have that like 96-ounce steak. You get
That's
it
a
for free.
72 ouncer. Yeah.
Oh my God, is this the plot of the
would
King
think.
of the Hill episode?
No, I was thinking you were going to say The Great Outdoors. Probably too old for you, though.
No, but on the King of the Hill, which is a cartoon,
Yeah.
they had Bobby Hill, the child, eat like a monstrous raw steak in front of a girl who broke his heart because she was a vegetarian or something. It was
Pretty
a good
much, yeah.
episode.
The record holder for that. So you have to eat that in an hour, I think. So
Yeah,
it's
that's exactly what he did. Yeah,
a 72-ounce steak, a baked potato, a salad, like a bun, and like broccoli or something. You have to
you
eat
have
the whole
to
thing
eat all of that,
in an hour.
Yeah.
not just the steak.
Correct.
What?
The steak is like this. It's like that thick. The record holder is a 85-pound housewife who ate the first one, the entire meal, within like 6 minutes.
What?
Then she ate a second one and finished the whole thing within like 12 minutes. She ate 2 entire meals within 12 minutes.
I mean, you can get that thin if you just drank water and ate celery for a month, but like, how are you going to get 2 of them down in that 85 pounds?
Go watch her on YouTube. It's
Where's
disgusting.
the space for
She looks
that?
like a wolf.
Yeah.
She looks like a wolf, like like eating a dead animal. It's gross. Check it out on YouTube.
Nah, I'm good. I'll listen to my scary stories to help me fall asleep tonight.
Yeah, me too. Which ones? So what do you watch? You didn't like the one I sent you.
I mean, let me get my
need some
YouTube
new
thrown
ones.
up. Let me get my YouTube thrown up. The best one, and it's not even necessarily scary. I think his name is Mr. Ballin. He's a former Marine, I think. Yeah, Mr. Ballin, no spaces, just MRBALLEN. He's just fantastic, but it got to the point where he got too big. He only uploads 1 story a week, and every single one of his video gets 5 million views. I like Mr. Nightmare, but he's a little bit more clickbaity / like, I don't know, his stories aren't as impressive anymore.
Mr. Nightmare?
Yeah.
Okay.
His videos aren't my favorite anymore, but if I see him, I watch him.
You don't like Nuke's Top 5, huh?
Nah, it's BS. That was really...
How about Slap
not to offend the elderly gentleman, but that felt like some boomer content to me.
Slapped Ham?
Nah. Explore with Us is good if you like documentary, like murder investigation type stuff.
Nah, not me.
Yeah, PJ wants some food videos.
No, PJ, we're wrapping this shit up.
PJ, I will say, do you know what sounds really good right now? Watching a video to help fall asleep of someone mowing the lawn. I know that me and PJ share that.
You mean vacuuming their lawn?
Yeah, vacuuming their lawn like Cliff Victoria.
Cliff, send us some videos of you vacuuming your lawn right now.
I feel bad we had to time out Cliff Victoria's alternate account, but at least he's acting correct on his primary account, so that's cool.
I'm going to ban you for picking on Cliff.
Cliff picks on me, man. Look at that. He's going to confit a pork belly this weekend. What? I don't even understand what that means.
Confit a pork belly? What the hell does that mean? So look at Squeegee.
That's awesome. That's what I do. I buy the aspartame bottles from Aldi. I've already downed one today. Like
the aspartame bottles, the diet ones. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but it's just bullshit. 89 cents for like a 1 liter or something. I don't even know. Yeah, PJ, the Boring Channel's fantastic. Whenever I hear PJ say the Boring Channel, I think of the Boring Company and Mr. Elon Musk's.
Wait. Hold on a second.
What?
Wait a minute, PJ. You're saying that you actually subscribe to channels on YouTube?
Oh my God!
Wow, that's a shock. Took him a year and a half to subscribe to his own channel.
What is Cliff talking about? He's going to shove lard into the belly of raw meat and slow cook it? Oh my God, this guy. Is that on that Japanese wood?
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
What's that?
You were talking to Cliff about some Japanese wood to help cook on.
Oh, Kiave.
Yeah, and then in chat, your mammy asked you to give you some of that wood or something.
You're out of here. Get out of here, Carl.
Deep in the archives of BCP's history. I'll remove myself.
You're like, I'm recording this one. I'm like, no, you're not.
I don't even know what you're talking about, man. It doesn't even exist anymore, bro.
Oh man,
it's good wood, yo.
It is good wood.
Cliff knows a thing or two about good wood.
It's the best wood, Cliff. Well, guys, let's wrap this shit up. It's over 2 hours. Let's not make this a 3-hour show for no reason at all.
Why not?
Because I'm going to go to bed.
I'm kidding.
I know there's a lot of people on Twitter right now laying in bed watching us.
You would sure hope so, but again,
Probably
if you guys want to prove
on.
me wrong, just spam in the chat. Give us your best Don Burr impression and just say anything stupid.
Yeah, we got 30 people on YouTube and 225 people on Twitter watching us right now.
225 people.
They're all laying in bed next to their wives with their earbuds in going, I can't laugh right now because I'm going to wake up.
Cliff, for the audio listener, says, Carl, I have hours of stories, years of sex with women. Define women, Cliff. Yeah. And with that, the show comes to an end.
Is that woman or women? With an A or an E?
Sounds like you're like a variant of your leader of men joke.
I'd say Cliff is a hell of a man, but probably mostly a woman.
Unbelievable. Poor Cliff Victoria catching strays on BCP.
He is a great cook, I tell you that much.
I don't have a problem defining women. Okay.
All right. Well, guys, let's wrap this shit up. You guys have been awesome tonight in chat. Don Burr aside. Don't like cutting you out, Don. Wish you would be respectful. I really wish you could be
all right.
Respectful. That's it. You're out of here. Are you banning him again? I'll do it right now if you don't want to. Yeah, there we go. Get the fuck out of here.
It's not my choice to do that, in my opinion, but definitely when I see
Come out and insult our guests and insult our chat. Insult Plank, who never gets to watch with us live.
We'll get to insult his team in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's all it took. All of a sudden, Don Burr acts mad and you don't want the Lions to win the Super Bowl anymore?
Yeah,
why would you want the Lions to win the Super Bowl?
Fuck you, Don Burr.
Yeah, fuck Don Burr. I like New Breed. New Breed deserves to be happy, but he also likes Michigan State, which that's very questionable. But anyway, fuck the Lions.
What were you gonna say, Squeegee?
Oh, I was just wondering who did the Lions draw first? Who are they going to play first in the playoffs?
The Lions have the #1 overall seed, so next in 2 weeks from this weekend, they will, or 1 week from this weekend,
they're going to play whoever wins the wild card.
The lowest seed.
Yeah.
So if the Packers win, that would be the de facto matchup. I pray to God that doesn't happen. Then you're looking at either the Redskins or more likely the Vikings.
Yeah.
So if the Vikings win their matchup in Arizona, by the way, against the Rams, then they'll be traveling to Detroit.
We got a Vikings fan to subscribe to the channel per one of the shorts you made about Josh McCown.
Fantastic. I'm sure they love him. I could flex something that I don't technically own, and you guys would be hopefully impressed, but maybe I'll save that for a rainy day.
Okay.
Some autographed memorabilia. It's a shame my girlfriend has more autographed memorabilia than me. I got to change that.
Atmos says, Donald loves a tube steak smothered in underwear.
I fucking love Atmos.
That reminds me of Waddle when he did that clip that they always play on the score when he went to a ball game, a baseball game the night before. He's like, "Yeah, I took my kids. Yeah, we had a hot dog smothered in underwear. Smothered in onions."
No, I've never seen that, but that sounds like some radio set.
Kills me, man.
You just got to add sweat filled to that.
Yeah.
You always say a sweat filled hot dog.
Well, let's get to chat really quick before we sign off here. Plank, it's a pleasure to have you with us tonight. Great to talk with you live in our chat. I wish you could be in more of them. We appreciate your support, being a member. Thank you so much. The first member, by the way. Cliff Victoria, Chicago Sports Podcast. Don Burr, go fuck yourself.
Pipeline J. Have we seen Pipeline J in here before?
I think he was here last week, but thank you for joining us again, Pipeline. Chad Speaker, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for your super chats tonight. We had quite a few of them. $5 from Chad. Plank became a member. Sorry, Plank was, never mind, that was a different one. A $2 super chat from Chad Speaker, a $5 super chat from Googly Bear, a $9.99 super chat from Chicago Sports Podcast. Thank you, Trax. Appreciate that. And of course, Chad becoming a new member. We appreciate that so much. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Mr. Mayhem, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. King Buka World, great to see you again. Samo. PJ.
Who's that PJ guy?
My man, PJ. Wish you were here with us tonight, my man. Hope all is well.
Did you say hello to J2K?
J2K, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Did you guys see that J2K is starting a new YouTube channel?
Yes, I heard.
I should throw it up on the screen if I can get to it quick enough, but it's very interesting. I feel like that type of content is a bit boom or bust, and I hope it booms.
It's more NFL related.
No, it's specific to one thing.
Well, it's draft and NFL related.
Oh, I thought it was just the NFL draft. The name of the channel, guys, is at NFL _ draft _ coverage. I guess if you search NFL... No, if you search NFL draft coverage, it's going to be hard to see. So let me do this. Let me throw the link in the channel or in the comment section.
What is that already up?
You guys should definitely take a look, in my opinion, because J2K is pumping out a bunch of content. That's the YouTube side of things.
J2K has rebranded several of us podcasters because he's so great at it, and it only serves well that he does it for himself. Chris Foster, thanks for hanging out with us tonight and being a gentleman. Hair Bear, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Chris Foster asks J2K, can I spam it? Chris Foster, if you're going to do anything, spam J2K's new channel with love and not hate.
Yeah.
Again, treat others the way you'd like to be treated.
Absolutely. Tony Moy, thanks for hopping in with us tonight. Minister Charles Johnson. I think Vernon Roseman was in here too.
That feels like a... What's the term? A fever dream? I don't know what it is or what I'm trying to say, but when Vernon talked on BCP, that was a special moment, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. We'll have him on again. Everyone loves hearing him talk. It's like listening to, what's his name? The actor.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yeah. He just kind of puts you in a trance. You're like, yes. Yes. What are you saying?
Yeah, Antmis, this is J2K's new channel. It's a link. I can honestly put it in the chat again, but it's specifically draft coverage. I don't know what J2K is going to do with it, but there's already so much content. There's like 30 shorts uploaded already. If you're looking for a crush on an NFL a college football player entering the NFL draft, you might just be able to find the next gem on J2K's channel. Just subbed. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I haven't watched too much of it, but like, there's a lot of it, which is awesome.
I didn't realize he already had it up. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, 15 shorts up already. Channel was just created yesterday, I think. J2K
subscribed.
Pumping it out, man.
Congrats, J2K.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
The Scrolls, Greg B. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. There are so many people in here that were in here tonight. It's hard to get to. Slick Sophistication.
Name. Yeah, Slick Sophistication. We didn't say his name yet. You said hello to Hair Bear. Vizojo, yes.
Scottish Bear was in here.
Tony Moy.
Godson. Who else was in here tonight? Eduardo Isaac Rodriguez M.
Oh, man. And you did not say anything about Minister Charles Johnson.
I did. Minister Charles Johnson. I said that.
Devout Michigan fan, by the way.
Demand Ice hanging out with us tonight. Of course, we want to thank Chips Ahoy Boy for hanging out with us and his wonderful, awesome, amazing vent. New Breed 313 Sports. Thanks for hanging out with us. Our fucking awesome Lions fan friend Don. Take some credence from that, for Christ's
You've been
sake.
saying you wanted the Lions to win the Super Bowl for like over a month at this point. So for him to do that's some serious business.
No shit, man. Come in here and be a dick. I'm trying to support your team.
I'm kind of proud of Don Bird just for the fact that he took you off of that. But other than that, he's a total asshole.
That's true.
Ricky Leahy.
Jeremy Munoz.
Ricky Leahy just pulled up. I've never seen Ricky Leahy before, but hello, sir.
I have seen Ricky Leahy before. Thanks for joining us, Ricky Leahy. We're just signing off and saying goodnight. Dr. Professor 756, thanks for hanging out with us. James Christo. Bearski Film, thanks for hanging out with us, Paul.
Hey, who's that guy? I don't have the picture anymore. Wait, do I have
He's
it?
a really cool dude. I know that much. He's a really good guy. T. Collins.
I was going to throw up the Petsing / Campbell Teeth picture, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm going to delete that from my computer. It made me uncomfortable.
The FBI is going to come calling for you on that. Is this your computer? Do you have this picture of this pedophile on here? It's not Bearski, I promise you.
I'm going to turn this into a short. Shorty calls Lions current head coach pedophile, ?
Watch, it'll come out in the future now he is.
He says, why, thank you, Shorty.
We try to get to everyone, and thank you guys for hanging out with us, because without you guys, Gregory Stevens, thanks for hanging out with us, Pig Vomit, this show does not exist in this manner. We would not have fun. We would not do it. Robert Friel, thanks for hanging out with us.
Did you say hello to Fartman? I'm
Fart
positive
Man.
we saw Fartman in here too.
Yep, I did see Fartman. Fartman, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Tin Pan Dog. God, I love that name.
Oh, yeah.
Vernon Roseman, of course. Yep, there's Fartman. And I can keep going for another half an hour because this show is too long to begin with. Squeegee, we want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight. You got anything going on in your life there you want to talk about?
I just got some new equipment, man, I'm sorry if my image tonight was kind of messed up, but my glasses, if you can't tell, ain't working too good. Everything's blurry unless I look up like this.
Everything.
I am going to try to start putting out some of my own stuff here. I'm going to start working on pretty soon here, so everybody keep an eye out for that. And other than that, I'm just chilling, soaking up my disability,
Nice.
That's about it.
As long
Play
as
with
life
the dog.
is treating you well, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm living the dream. I got a lot of aspirations now all of a sudden. I just got this jolt, so I think I'm finally starting to recover really good from the stroke and the heart attack and all. And, my diabetes is really getting under control. I was at 256 pounds in January, at this last January, and then I'm down to 206 pounds now. So
hell yeah.
I'm working hard at that.
Right on, man.
And I've been getting ready to start going to the gym if my stamina will stay up for that. I got trouble walking long distances. Other than that, man, I can't complain.
You got to use your third leg for walking.
Yeah. It's kind of sorry, it's getting kind of worn out and it's more like a kickstand instead of a freaking leg.
It lost its foot. The foot's gone.
Oh no.
So, I almost forgot to get some. So, somebody was wondering how I got my nickname, Squeegee. How'd you like to get some info in on that one? All right. So, when I was a youngster, we went down to Springfield to visit my aunt down there, and she decided to take us to church on Sunday. And being a non-minority group, I'm thinking that we're going to like a church, like with a steeple and like the Pope dude put something in your mouth, and all that. But we actually going to a church like where the Reverend looked like freaking what's his name? like James Brown, hey, they were freaking holy rollers, you know what I'm saying? So we're all sitting in there on the freaking pew, and they're jamming away, and they're saying, hey, can you feel it, brother? Can you feel it? And right about that time, we had some firebrand chili from down there. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the chili den in there, but I fired off a fart on the bench there that it was like nothing you've ever heard before. And I jumped up to try to play it off, and I was like, yes, I can feel it, brother. I can feel it. Went through the freaking thing, and when it was all over, my cousin said, man, that sounded like a freaking squeegee. And I thought, I'm squeegee. I'm famous for the fart in the Holy Roller Church.
I love it, man.
It's Springfield, Illinois.
I did wonder how you got that nickname that you use on your handle, because you started off as Curtis Newberry, and now you're Squeegee. It threw me off.
Yeah. Yep, that's my real name is Curtis Newberry. I usually go by Kurt, and Squeegee is just a freaking nickname.
Well, it's a hell of a nickname, and it's got a really funny, unique story to it, so I love it.
Me too.
Wild
All right, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. Bear down, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Hope to see y'all soon.
Thank you, Squeegee. We appreciate you reaching out, wanting to come on and hang out with us again. Always a pleasure to have you on with us. Anyone that would like to join us, email us at bearscountrypodcast@gmail.com, and you can be a part of the show. In the meantime, want to thank everyone in chat. You guys know who you guys are. A couple of new guys hopping in. Wild Hog just hopped in. There was somebody else that just hopped in too. Want to say thank Seymour Butts hopped in. Want to say thank you guys. We are signing off right now. We'll see what happens in this next week with the rest of the. What's up, Arthur Marston? And the rest of all the Twitter people are now starting to wait. Don't end the show. We're still hanging out. We want to talk with you.
Twitter people. There's no Twitter people in here. It's all YouTube.
You can tweet. You can chat in Twitter.
But all the people that are putting in chats, to my understanding, are YouTube commenters.
Are they?
Yeah, you can see the little icon next to their name in StreamYard. Arthur Marston.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they're all in chat now. Anyway, we love you guys, and we appreciate and thank you for your support. J2K, awesome stuff, man. Congratulations on your new channel. Go check J2K out, NFL draft coverage on YouTube. There's no doubt it will be a success with the way that Jeremy does things, the way that he thinks. J2K, appreciate you and love you. Thank you. Thank you for helping us with this challenge as well.
You stole the words out of my mouth, Dan. J2K is as big of a part of this community as anyone else, so
absolutely.
I'm glad that he gets a chance to upload some content that, it's going to go around. It's going to help all Bears fans, be more educated for the draft. Even though all you got to do is just draft everyone from Michigan, and you've got a hell of a roster. But I'll digress there.
Mr. Mayhem, bear down. Thank you for hanging out with us, guys. We'll see you next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Well, I'll be honest. I'm just thinking about that. So I'm driving back to Chicago this weekend because I don't want to, get all googly gaga in here, but my mom has breast cancer. So she's having surgery next week. So I'm driving into Chicago on Saturday, and I'm going to be with her all next week, helping her through her surgery and all that shit. So I don't know if I'll be available to do a show next week. And if I'm not and nobody else wants to do it, we will not have a show. Thank you, J2K. And if we do have a show, it will be with Carl and Foster and any other guests we might have. But if I do not show up next week, I will be back the following week. So I apologize to all you guys. Thank you very much, Chad.
I really don't think there's any apologies necessary. I'll speak on behalf of the chat on that one. So.
Yeah, it's about as good as it could be. It's called stage 0, which means that it hasn't actually turned into cancer yet, which is the best news you could possibly have. So, but it is a very invasive surgery because it's a pretty large tumor. So, although it's not a full mastectomy, it's still going to be, it's my mom. So, thank you, Plank. Thank you for everyone. I appreciate you for your wishes. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I didn't mean to bring that up to, woe is me kind of a thing, but just wanted to let you guys know why I wear my heart on a sleeve. So I'm just letting you guys know why I might not be here next week. So if I don't,
I've told you you've gotten very mad at the Bears losing games and threatened to stop uploading videos. I'm done. I'm going back to my life. No, man, this is the fam. It's your community. You've built it up well, and at this point, it's not about the Bears anymore. It's about the fam.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It really means something to hear all you guys and you, Carl, say that. So I really appreciate that. Giovanni Giorgio popping in just to say that. I'm sorry, Shorty. Thank you, Giovanni. Haven't seen you all show or maybe even before, but you just hopping in to say that means a lot. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Much love to you.
Yeah, you've got to know there's a lot of people who are just going to tune in and listen. It's called lurkers. But, for people to just come out of the woodwork and, just say condolences, whatever the case is, it just proves my point even more. It's not about the Bears. It's about the fam.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Means a lot. Because this is the Bears Bears fan therapy session. So, that's part of it too, right? Life is a part of that. So thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Much love to you guys. We'll see you soon one way or another. And let's end the shit on a 1, 2, 3. Bears, you want to do this with us, Squeegee?
Sure.
Let's do it, man.
Ready? A 1, a 2, a 3. Bears.
Bears.